That's an absolute beauty. I'd like to see a trap full like that. That's a nice one. You should. So we didn't actually get a great big bucket full of yabbies today, but what we did get was absolute quality. Check this out. I've kept 6 of these fellas, and I don't even think he's the nice one. Have a look in the bucket here. We've kept 6, but they're 6 good quality big yabbies. And I think today we were going to go home and cook a nice little dish up, but it's such a beautiful morning out here. I do have the cast iron skillet with me. I think we might just barbecue these 6 up and eat them nice and fresh. Literally only been out of the water 15 minutes. And again, if you've watched it this far, you haven't hit the subscribe button, I don't know what you're doing, but you better hit it right now. So I'll give you a bit of a look at what I've done. I've sliced them down the middle, taken the head off. We've just got a nice little clean tail there. And I do have water here, so I'll give them a good clean beforehand. I've taken all the really big nippers off, and I've already sat them on the cast iron because they'll take a lot longer to cook. And I'm just going to sprinkle some seasoning over these tails. Give them a good little drenching in the seasoning. And what I'll do, I think that cast iron should be pretty hot. Yep, hear that sizzle? First off, I'm going meat down. And we'll leave them meat down till they get a good sear on them. Because I only want to flip them once, because they're not the cleanest. So once I flip it over onto that tail part, I don't want to flip it back onto the meat. That's how you tell they're fresh. When you put them on and they flip like that, that's how you know they are bloody fresh. Look at the size of that fella, that's a good tail there. There's his mate, the other half. And I'm just going to push them down, make sure they get a nice bit of heat. I've got it going fairly flat out. What's it moving to? Yeah. I'll just keep flipping these nippers. Once those tails are all seared up and ready, because they will cook a lot quicker than the nippers, what I'll do is I'll put a bit of water on there so those nippers actually boil a little bit. And I wasn't really expecting to do a cook up out here, so I didn't really bring anything apart from what I've already had in the ute, which I normally carry around with me, which is the skillet. There's a bit of oil and seasoning in here from last time I went, but we've got no other cutlery or tongs or anything like that, so she's a bit of a bush snack, but they're generally the best. I will get a bit of steaming going under there, check that out. What I've got here is some ice cold water. The tails are done, I've pulled them off, they're sitting underneath my hat here, away from the flies. I can get rid of that now. And what my plan is, I'm going to put these nippers straight into ice cold water, and hopefully that will make the meat come away from the shell a lot easier, for one, and two, they'll cool down a lot quicker so we can eat them. Straight into ice cold water. Oh, that is nice and icy cold too. I was nearly thinking I might have to flush that out a bit, but no, that's held up the coldness well. This water bottle here is full of ice and water, obviously. We'll let them in there for a couple of minutes, and for the big reveal, our plate of goodness. We didn't bring any plates or anything, obviously, and they've been cooling down for a good couple of minutes, so they'll be ready to dig straight into. Look at that seared yabbie tail, straight from the dam. I don't think Eileen wants any today, so...
Leave me the small ones.
I'll have these couple of big ones, then she can have a taste test. Look at this. Everyone get it on camera. Peeled straight out, empty shell. And the shell can stay here. Look at that. That was that big fella that we got right at the very end. Where's his other half?
Closer to you. Oh, the other half.
This one here. This is the other half of him. Eileen wants a small one, so I'll just have to have the big fella. Look at that.
You grab me.
Finger licking good.
Give me one. The one closest to you.
This one.
That one.
She's eating all the big ones on me.
That's small.
Look at that. It is only a small one. Here's a look. Stand over here where we can see you. It's cold. Yeah, I'll let them cool down for you. I didn't want them hot. Just shoo them flies away. What do you reckon?
We can't taste it yet.
What
do you do?
Yeah, she won't be able to taste it till the last one.
What do you do? Just peel it like that?
Yeah. See, easy as. You can flick that shell away because that's just a bit of calcium for the soil.
I don't know.
But you got to try another one.
I feel like... What's that shell?
Well, you're eating the shell too.
I swallow it. I feel like that was a shell. Okay. We'll see if I can taste it. Oh yeah, that's yum. Wanna have some?
Yeah. Now we're taking in turns. I'm getting all the big ones, and they've cooled down really well actually. They're actually cool.
Have another small one.
Yeah, we'll take in turns now. One for me, one for the boss.
Cute. Yum. This is the first time I'm having something like this.
Is it?
I can't remember the last time I tried one. Maybe you cooked some, you didn't give me any.
Probably. Yeah, you can't really beat that seasoning. Seared yabbie tail on the cast iron with a bit of that seasoning on it. It's pretty hard to beat.
Fresh yabbies.
Most simple way, straight out of the dam. Give them a bit of a clean. Chop them down the centre. And straight on the cast iron.
You can have that one, it's big.
This is the part that I've been waiting for. Get rid of that first. Let's see how we've done. Oh, look at that. Putting it in that cold water straight after. Look at that. That is literally the best part of the yabbie. I'll crack one open for the boss. And again, just pop straight out. Look at that, nice big chunk of meat. And I've already got rid of the little butterfly bit that's down the middle.
There's none.
So it's just pure meat. Come around here into the sun.
There is still some.
Oh, I thought I got rid of it. Set her up.
Lucky I checked.
It'll be right, just chew around it. I thought I pulled that out. It mustn't have come out.
I was gonna show it whole.
That is literally the best part of the yabbie.
It's fresh.
And especially when they're nice and big like that.
Yum.
That one's got a hole in him. This one here is going to be a bit tough because I can't pull this little piece off because he's had it chopped off. What you'd normally do, that little nipper bit that moves, you snap it off and pull it out, and the meat will just fall out because there's like a cartilage bone up the middle. See if I can see it. See that there?
Yeah.
And it holds the meat in. I just dropped it.
It's
I'll give you a look on this one. It's a whole nipper. So you got this little butterfly bit. Crack it that way, and generally if you're careful, that will come out. Then all you got left to do is give it a good crack. Some can be a bit tough. And your shell should just fall away like that, and your meat will just come out of the shell. And there is that little dangly bit off there that goes in up into here. It's quite edible, but it's got a completely different texture. It's like jelly. I don't like it. And the boss just commandeered that one.
what?
You took it off me.
Yeah.
See that one there, I buggered up. I pulled it out and the little butterfly bit didn't come with it.
That's what you did with my first one.
Yeah, must have. But still, generally, if you get rid of that, it'll still come out. The only problem is, you can still do it. Pull the little butterfly out. Look at that. It's a whole big chunk. So we'll leave this video here. We've had a pretty good morning. Got some absolute beauty yabbies. Didn't get a lot, but we were only here for about an hour. If it wasn't so far from town, I would have left them in for probably half a day and come back, which I probably would like to do, but we do have other jobs to get done today, and it's getting bloody hot. There's no shade out here. We've had a good little snack. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. And I won't go too hot with it straight up because I've got a bit of mucking around to do. We'll just get our fish on the frying pan. Because what's going to happen is all these yabbies are going to get the same treatment. We're going to cut them down long ways. And I've been neglecting our fish. Look at this fella, he's all bent up out of shape. I think what I'm going to have to do... Oh, that worked out alright. I thought it was all going to fall apart on me. I think we'll go a bit more oil. And I've done the same treatment to our yabbies, just butterflied it. The tail. Throw them on. That's how you tell they're fresh. Look, they're still kicking. And we're really living large today. Ooh yeah, baby. But we're just missing one little tiny ingredient. Our old homegrown tomatoes. A few people asked me what they were. They are a rouge de marmalade, and they are delicious. What I want to do today is just get a little bit of sear on our tomatoes. Just brings out the sugar. Ooh. As you can see, we've had a lot of rain and the tomatoes split, but it doesn't really affect the tomato. Makes them yummier. If that isn't a feast fit for a bushman, I don't know what is. Just got to keep the bloody flies off it. Got some fresh outback perch, cooked to perfection, only caught an hour ago. Got some beautiful seared yabbie tails. Have a go at them. Absolutely lovely. Fresh homegrown tomato, rouge de marmalade, which are delicious, and a steak that is cooked, I think, absolutely to perfection today. I don't think I overdone it. I cooked it really quick and really hot. Still feels a bit soft. So we best be having a crack, and I think I'll get a little bit of that steak, yes, a little bit of pinkness in it. We'll sit him there. We'll take one of these yabbie tails out. Oh, look at that. Look at that, would ya? I think we'll go with those two first. I don't know what it is, but I just keep outdoing myself. And what I think we'll do, we'll have a look at this perch. Oh, that's what I was hoping would happen. Oh yes, look at that. All the bones just pulled out. Fins pulled off. Look at this. Let's go a bit of tomato, bit of fish. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. First things first, I'll give you a look at the ingredients we're going to be using. We've got shrimp stock, spring onion, celery, garlic and yabbie tails. First things first, we're going to be cutting the carrot up, and we don't want a lot. We probably want to make the yabbie the star ingredient, so we're just going to add a little bit of the other stuff. We just want to cut our carrot really finely into long strips. So we'll do that, and with the magic of editing, our carrot is done, and we're not going to be cutting up, like I said, lots. It's not even a quarter of a carrot, just because we want to keep our yabbies the star ingredient. I'm just going to have this little biscuit of carrot, doesn't go to waste. Our next ingredient will be one big clove of garlic. And what you want to do with this is just squash it and then mince it up really finely. Here you go, Master Chef. And with our next ingredient, as you can see, the Master Chef has requested a new knife. I don't know if I trust her with that big thing. I'll probably end up losing an ear. Is some celery. And even if you don't like celery, you do have to add it because you won't taste it. It'll just add the flavour that you need. And you need the celery in these, or it's not going to taste the same. And I'll give them to the Master Chef. She would only want probably one of those, like a small bit, because we're only making a small batch because we've only got that many yabbies basically. But what you want to do with the celery is not dice it up long ways. You want it diced into little tiny cubes, as small as you can get it. A bit like the size of the garlic there, really small cubes. And as you can see, I've already partially boiled, peeled and seared these yabbie tails, lightly seasoned and seared. And they're not finished yet. On to the next ingredient. We've got some spring onion straight from the garden. And we'll probably want just a bit of that, about the same as everything else. Not too much, but not too little. And you want to get it from the bottom, the white part. So as you've noticed, we're not putting onion in this. You can substitute the spring onion for normal onion if you want to. But we prefer, with the spring rolls or the lumpia, we prefer the spring onion. It's a little bit milder in flavour, and that's about it. No great reason, we just prefer spring onion. Plus we've got heaps in the garden, so we might as well use it. And what I'm going to do, while she's cutting up the ingredients there, I'm going to do the hard job. I'm going to put the cube in the hot water. So what we have here is boiling hot water, and 1 cube of the shrimp broth cubes. And you can just get them from most Asian shops will have those. And what she wants to tell us is, with the spring onion, we've got our little bit cut up here, which will go in the cooking. We also want about equal amounts to put on after it's cooked. So it's a little bit raw before we roll our spring rolls. I've got about 1/2 cup of boiling water there, and I reckon I only want about 1/2 cube in there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a full cube. Just because I like it a little bit richer in flavour. I'm going to stir that up till it's all nice and dissolved. I'm going to go over and I'm going to start cooking this stuff, and I'll take you over and I'll show you the sequence that you have to cook it in. In the meantime, Eileen is going to be cutting up these yabbie tails into small pieces. We'll just have a bit of a look. Now you want your yabbie tails just cut up into little tiny bits like that, and you'll see why later. So what you want to do first is put your garlic in. Very important. If you don't put your garlic in first, you'll get in trouble with Eileen. And you want to cook that until it sort of toasts, I'd call it. Toasts or roasts. And you'll smell when that's ready. That garlic will give off a roasted smell when it's ready. And I think, do we add our onions at the same time? No, don't add your onions at the same time, add a little bit after. I'm using the same pan that I just seared the yabbie tails in not 10 minutes ago. It's got all that flavour in the bottom, and that's what you want. Now that our garlic has got a little bit of roast to it, we're going to add our celery, onion and carrots. And as you remember, we've got to save that little bit until after it's finished cooking. And what you really want to do is get a nice saute of all those together. And what I'm going to start doing is just adding a little bit of this stock, not too much, just enough to get it sauteing and cooking. Get the steam going. Now that I've added a bit of that stock, I just want to cover that, let it steam up so that carrot cooks and it all melds together. And they've literally been cooking for probably 3 minutes, I guess, at the most. Because there's such a small amount there, it's not going to take long at all. Now we have our yabbie all cooked up, and as you can see, there's a lot more yabbie than the taste ingredients. So we're going to put those back in. All our yabbie back in there. A little bit more of this stock. And as you can see, I haven't used much of this stock at all.
Salt and pepper to taste.
Just a little bit of stock. A little bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And a little bit of the magic ingredient. It's literally magic, look. You can't cook Filipino food without this stuff. And it wouldn't be the same unless the rice cooker was going. Full of rice, nice and hot, ready to go. And what you want to do when you think it's starting to get ready is get yourself a little taste. Make sure there's everything on there. I could eat that just like that on toast. And you want it fairly rich to be in a spring roll. You want a fair bit of taste, and that is, it's hard to explain the flavour of that, but that is absolutely bloody delicious. And I reckon that's getting close to being ready. Like you're seeing, those yabbie tails were already really seared. All we're really doing here is getting all the ingredients all mixed together. And I didn't know whether it might want a little bit more stock, but it doesn't. That's pretty well absolutely perfect the way it is. So what we want to do is get our spring onion that we had left over earlier, and that's the green part of the spring onion. I'm going to turn it off and mix that in. And that's basically it for our filling. We'll have to let that cool down, and then we're going to head back over there and we're going to show you how to roll them up. We're back over at the workstation, and this is pretty important, this part. This is probably the most important part of the lot, apart from catching the yabbies in the first place. What you want is this brand of spring roll wrapper. I'll give you a look. You will find other brands. The other brands are rubbish, is that right?
Yeah, this is the best one.
Yeah, because if you go to all this trouble, if you want to try and make these and you copy our recipe and you don't buy this spring roll wrapper, they'll turn out like crap. So go to the effort and try and find this particular one. Give you another look, that's the one you want. And we'll just go through a little bit of what she's doing for the first one, and then we'll wrap them all up and come back. So what she's done, she's cut it in half diagonally into a triangle, and we've got our yabbie mix here, which has cooled down. That's another thing, you want to let that cool down.
Oh, sorry, I need a spoon.
You don't want to wrap it hot. I'll just grab her a spoon. And if you want to make the bigger spring rolls, you can just leave the sheet whole.
Yeah.
There's probably plenty of...
Do you want me to do one, like the big one, and then this?
Oh no, just make them the way you make them. There's probably plenty of YouTube videos of how to wrap a spring roll, but this is how we do it. As you can see, she's got it fairly loaded there. Probably 2 of those spoons, which is a fairly big tablespoon. And we're not going to give a detailed explanation how to roll them, but she's basically folded it. Yeah, start again.
Okay.
You explain how you do it.
Yeah, so I make sure that's in the middle. It's just a weird shape. That's how I wrap it. It's just a trick. That's how I do it.
So,
and it's full of meat. And then as you go, you press not too much, but just, you know, just enough to have nothing, like no air. Like it's like that. Just keep going. It's not in the middle, but yeah. And then here's this one. It's a paste. You've got 2 teaspoons of corn flour is to 1 tablespoon of water, cold water. And then I wash my hands, by the way. So you just...
And what she's doing that for is it seals it up and stops it coming apart when you fry it.
Seals it up like that.
And that's about it.
There you go. That's your spring roll.
There's a lumpia.
Okay, let's keep going.
I'll set this back up here. So we'll keep going. We're not going to get a lot of spring rolls out of this. Probably we'll wait and see how many we get. But they are loaded. They're not like the spring rolls you're going to go and buy in your average Chinese shop with a little bit of cabbage strung down the middle of it. They are loaded.
It's homemade.
And another good thing about these spring rolls is you can go to all the trouble of making them like this, put in the time, and they will keep in the freezer for a fairly long time. What we normally do is we make the pork one, instead of yabbie we use pork mince, and you can fit, what, 15 or so in
16.
here? 16 in a plastic takeaway container, put the lid on it, put it in the freezer, it can stay in there for 3 months, pull them out, and they literally only take 2 minutes to cook in the oil because everything's already cooked apart from the pastry, obviously.
How many months? 3 months.
They don't last that long.
They don't last that long.
They don't last that long, but that's how long you could theoretically keep them for.
If you know there's spring rolls in there, you can have it every day.
Yeah, and if Steve's watching this, Steve will be salivating.
Oh no.
He's gonna miss out.
He would want some.
Steve's my brother-in-law, and we only make these on special occasions because we don't like to spoil everyone. And Steve gets some for Christmas, so he probably looks forward to that every Christmas. And another thing you can do with this pastry is make samosas.
Yeah, samosas.
Is that what they are? Samosas.
Yeah.
Which is basically just like a spring roll, but it's rolled in a different way. It's rolled into a triangle. And what I have done before is I make a pie filling, all different flavours, whatever flavour you like. I make a pepper and beef pie filling with onion and rolled in a samosa, and they are bloody nice.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down below if you want me to do a video of just how to make those samosas.
Yabbie samosas.
Yeah, because they are nice. No, the pie ones.
Oh yeah.
The Australian pie samosa, they are absolutely delicious.
They were yum.
And you don't want your oil too hot. You just want it on a nice medium heat because that pastry will cook quickly. And another thing, if you're gonna freeze them and cook them from frozen, have your oil even a little bit cooler than that. Obviously just so it heats through the middle before the outside cooks. That's a little tip that they won't tell you. And here we have it, the finished product. I'm not even too sure how many yabbies went into those, but it was close to 30 yabbies. We've obviously got some tomato, cucumber, and some of this stuff. If you haven't tried this, do yourself a favour and go and get some. It's called Poon Sin Vietnamese dipping sauce.
Spring roll.
And I tell you what, once you've tried it, you'll be nearly drinking it out of the bottle. It's absolutely bloody beautiful. Especially for spring rolls. Anything really, anything fried. I even dip chicken and meat and all sorts of stuff into it. Bloody nice.
Wait,
Well,
what's your rice?
I'm gonna have some of her rice. I don't want too much rice because I've already had breakfast. She hasn't. She's only just got home from work. Saturday morning, Eileen has to work until lunchtime Saturdays, so I've already had a big feed this morning. She hasn't.
Who's this?
We'll try our spring rolls or our lumpia. I'm going to get a nice heap of sauce on there. Can you hear that? Crunchy. Absolutely delicious.
What's in there?
And
Carrots.
loaded up.
Carrots.
Yeah, carrots and chilli.
Yum.
There's actually carrots and chilli in this sauce. It's almost like a relish type thing. Bit of carrot hanging off there.
That's yummy.
And you can definitely taste that yabbie in there. It's absolutely loaded. I don't know how well you're going to see it on camera. But you can see, taste, and feel the yabbie in there. It's not like them ones you get at the shop, just a little bit of bloody meat strung up the middle. That's mostly meat. And a few good mouthfuls in each one. And that sauce just tops it off. That was an absolute bloody ripper of a little run, that was. I'm gonna take him, definitely take a new pair. I think we're probably gonna keep them all. What have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's really soft. Oh, you nearly had me too. I was gonna let you go, you little bugger. This one here is really soft. So he's going back. So is he. He's really soft. He's going back. This one is not. He's nice and hard. That one there is going to be full of meat. You can tell by how dark they are. He's going in there, and so is that fella. That's all we had. So we ended up with a few in there. I'm going to get these processed. I think we're going to get them on the grill. I'm just going to give them a couple of minutes to heat up a bit, just so they're a lot easier to peel. Like I said, I come prepared today and I wasn't mucking around with it. Got a nice big T-bone. Yeah, beauty. Straight on the cast iron, a little bit of seasoning. A little bit of seasoning, look at that for a hunk of goodness. Nice butter, really hot pan. I'm going to crank it up a bit actually. Get a nice sear going. While I'm giving that a few minutes, might even put those nippers down into the juice. Let them marinate. Oh, if you could smell that. Give that a few minutes on each side. In the meantime, I reckon these are going to be cooled down enough. I'll get these fellas peeled out. We better have a look at Mr. T-bone. Oh, look at that. See? If that doesn't look good, I don't know what does. Oh my goodness me. I think I'm going to outdo myself again. Top it off, a bit of freshly chopped onion. The old yabbos might as well join the party. This is all going on. And I'm actually going to just add a little bit more seasoning to those fellas, because why not? I reckon that steak's probably nearly getting there. Oh yeah, he looks good on that side. I really don't want to overdo this steak today, because although I do like things overdone a little bit, I think a beautiful T-bone like that, I reckon that's going to do him. We'll let him rest. And I think I'm going to let him rest in here where there's no flies. I'll just shut that carefully so I don't end up dirt all over it. Give him a few minutes to rest while we sear up our little yabbie choppers. And what a change just a few degrees in temperature makes. I could have run up and down there for another hour or so and absolutely got a big feed, but I think I'll just keep this spot, and we're going to have to bring the kids out here. Josie's been hanging out. She's been up me every day to go yabbieing. I keep telling her no, they wouldn't be on yet, but I think we might bring her out. We can't this weekend because we've got a special trip coming up this weekend, but probably next weekend we'll bring her out. They'll be well and truly on by then. We'll definitely get her a feed. Now, if that isn't a feed fit for a king, I don't know what is. We've got our big nippers, T-bone steak, topped with grilled onions, yabbie tails, and some fresh garden salad. Actually picked that out of our garden. And we better not forget the most important part, and I think I'll cook that steak to absolute perfection. It's not overdone, still nice and juicy. Onions are perfect. Nice and tender. I don't even know why I brought this crap. It can stay out here. Bloody leaves. What was I thinking? And there's the big yabbie on the fork ready to go. I'll leave it here. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. We're back in the kitchen. Come over here and have a look. We've just got the yabbie tails here that I've boiled. Just boiled them in salty water, just ripped the tail off, boiled the tail by itself in salty water, peeled it, and actually just cut it up into cubes. So it's not a full tail, it's probably about a half, or some of them really big ones are a third of a tail. So, yabbie tail. What we've got, just a little bit of celery. Depends how much celery you want to use, how much you like it. It's diced up really finely. We'll put that in with the yabbie tails. I normally like, with about 10 tails like that, like a good tablespoon or a little bit more of fine celery. What we've got here is Thousand Island dressing. You can get it at any supermarket. It's called Thousand Island dressing. It's really nice. And probably about 2 good spoons of that, and equal parts cream, thickened cream. So probably 2 good spoons of that, of thickened cream. And you mix it all up. If you like salt and pepper, a bit of salt and pepper, I'll just put a little bit of salt in this because it's nice. And what we've got is just a hot dog bun from the bakery. Just obviously cut it, buttered it, and then quite simple, fill your bun up with the yabbie tails and the dressing.
Can I have another one?
So there's the bun. Looks bloody nice.
It is.
And not many people wouldn't actually like this. Joe's have a go.
I didn't even get any yabbie.
You didn't get any yabbie. All the yabbies in the middle. Joe's have a taste test. Get a big bit of yabbie in the middle there.
That's good.
And this is a good recipe if you've got anyone that is not particularly too keen on yabbie. If you make this, feed it to them and don't tell them that it's yabbie in there, I'd guarantee you they'd think it's lobster or prawn or something. Check that out for a nice yabbie. Certainly done all right again. Couple of really nice half cleaned ones. We got probably another 10 or so. Felt like a lot of weight in that trap. And we'll have a look at the yabbies that we got, just for a bit of reference. Absolute beauties in here. Look at that. And I think there's probably, I haven't actually counted them, but there'd be a good 40 or 50 at least. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave them in this tub. There was actually clean water in this. I'm going to keep changing the water out with fresh rainwater until it's all clear. Probably a couple of days, I reckon. So that water's cleared up reasonably well. The yabbies have actually cleaned off a fair bit. You can see them a bit better in here now. And I think I counted 40, a bit over 40. And for today, I'm going to pick out 20 of the big ones, or biggest ones. And what I'll do is I'll blanch the tails and get them peeled. Probably cook the nippers all the way through and peel those. And I think Eileen's going to cook something up, so we'll come back then. So we're back in the kitchen. Today we're going to be making some yabbie sinigang. What's it called? Sinigang. Yes. First of all, what we've got here is about 20 of those big yabbies. I've got the tails and the nippers. And what she wants to do first, which she's given me the job to do, is just to sear them in a hot pan
there's no shell?
Because it's normally made with shrimp and it's normally made with the shell on, and all I've done is blanch these tails, probably 3 parts cooked them more than blanched, and there's no shell for the seasoning and extra flavour and whatever, so we're sort of adapting to with what we got. So we're just going to sear them in a really hot pan to start with, and I've been told to add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, which is probably just a little bit of salt, and I won't go too heavy with it, and I'll just flip them around in there and just give them a quick sear. And I want to be a little bit careful because I've got those nippers all nice and peeled, and it took me bloody ages to do, and I kept them all whole. So I've just given those a quick sear, really hot pan with some salt and pepper just to give them that bit of flavour that they need. So we've got the master chef in the kitchen. She's not that confident, and what we're doing here, it's probably not completely authentic because we're just working with what we got. What have we got in there first?
That's onion.
Bit of onion. It's probably half a quarter.
Just half.
A half of a, you know, just an average sized onion, white onion.
The tomatoes.
We've got how many tomatoes?
I got 1 medium-sized tomato.
So we've got 1 medium-sized tomato, and we're going to saute that on a really high heat. And she just said we normally put radish in there. And what she's just added then is
Snake beans.
Snake beans. How many of these is in there?
I did put 2.
And I just kept one of these snake beans to give you a look, because a lot of people wouldn't be too familiar with the snake beans. They're a really long bean. We've got a vine out the back, and we've got 1 vine, and you get off 1 vine, you can pick what, 5 of them a day, something like that. Like, they're really high yielding, but they're not a sweet bean. They're a really sort of a bland, hard, woody bean that really needs to be cooked.
This is 1.5.
There's 2.5 cups of water in that. So you probably don't want to go all at once. And there was 2.5 cups of water, but we're just going to make it to play it by ear a little bit. So instead of adding water, I think what they normally do is use the washing off the rice, because they wash the rice before they cook it. And I think that's got a fair bit of starch in that in it, which would probably make it a bit thicker. Is that right?
Yeah, but the thing is we already cooked the rice before.
Yeah, we already cooked the rice, so we're just going water.
I've got, what's this?
We've got 1 full cayenne pepper.
Yep.
You could probably use with whatever chili you like. It's just a big cayenne pepper.
I'll just put it there.
Because that's what we got.
I don't slice it. Just...
And not sliced, just whole, straight in there.
Okay, we'll just cook the vegetables.
And we'll just let them cook down for a while.
Sometimes they actually mash the tomatoes. I don't know, they want to taste the tomatoes like.
So the more you can cook the tomatoes down, the better, because it gives the
flavour.
Gives the flavour into the dish. So we'll leave these to cook down for what, 5 minutes?
As long as the snake beans is cooked, it'll be.
So yeah, probably. I reckon. We'll see how long it takes anyway, and we'll come back. I'm just going to give you a better look in this pan. It actually looks pretty good. You can see all the flavour and that coming out of those tomatoes, and we'll just cook them off fairly high heat, and basically until those snake beans are cooked, which could be 5 minutes, could be 3.
Because we still need to put the yabbie for maybe I don't know how many minutes.
So she just said once the snake beans are nearly cooked, not fully cooked.
Yep.
Because we're still going to add our seared yabbie
And other flavorings.
and a few other things yet. And while this is cooking down, we probably should add, we are going to forget a lot of things here that we're meant to say that we didn't, and we'll realise afterwards. But a lot of people add radish into this dish. What else?
Okra
Okra,
or eggplant.
eggplant.
And I like my sinigang with what do you call it? We call it what's that?
It's like
Kangkong. I don't know what's the English term for that, but
So we can have some King Kong in there if we like.
Kangkong.
Kang Kong.
Yeah, in our dialect it's called tangkong.
I think Tung Kong's a bit like water spinach.
Yeah.
So our string beans or snake beans, I call them snake beans, she calls them string bean.
Balatong.
A balatong. Once our balatong's just about ready, which it is now, what do?
He added
We
many
add,
ingredients.
now we add our magic ingredient, our seared yabbies.
The yabbies. Let's go.
And I'm being gentle with them because I want to try and keep those nippers as whole as possible. So we got our yabbies in there, and it's starting to look pretty good actually. So-
Okay, now we need to put our, if we have shrimp stock, I mean, we call it ginisa mix, sinigang mix, that's what it's called. But I forgot to buy it from the Asian shop. So I'm gonna use this one.
Now that's, what's
Secret
in that,
recipe.
yeah, what's in that satchel there is actually a secret recipe, we're not allowed to tell you.
Recipe, no, can't, or else you'll be able to,
That's the secret family recipe, so if you want that, you got to pay for it.
I won't put too much because it's not much
Yeah, I
in
think
it.
that little satchel there is pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah,
And it's already got a fair bit of flavour in there, so
because the yab has already salt and pepper, we don't need to put any more.
what else we got going in there?
That fish sauce.
We've got a little bit of fish sauce, and how much of that do we want? Just a few drops,
Just to taste,
Just
however you like.
however you like it.
Yeah.
And
I'll just do
that
it
fish
like
sauce is pretty powerful stuff, so you don't want to
There you
go
go.
too heavy.
Just,
So she's going to have a little taste test just to make sure it doesn't need anything added to it. And I'd probably say it needs more pepper, but what do you reckon?
did you put much salt in there earlier? No?
A little bit.
We need more.
We need more salt,
A little bit more.
and we haven't added the end ingredient yet either. I'll have to take that into account.
Okay.
Austin.
Yeah, you don't want your yabbie overcooked. So I'll just do...
You don't want your yabbie overcooked. I think I
Final
do want my yabbie overcooked.
You?
Yeah, that's how I like it.
Do you wanna...
I'm only
Try.
joking. You cook it the way you want.
It'll be chewy.
A bit chewy, is it?
It'll be chewy.
Oh, it will be chewy, right.
A little bit more of this.
Well, however you want to make it.
Okay. You reckon that yabbie will be... I
Yeah,
think
that
they're ready.
yabbie will be definitely
Okay.
cooked. It was 3 parts
So
cooked.
now, I'll turn it off.
Yeah. That yabbie, I probably went a bit more than blanch with those. I sort of 3 parts cooked them.
Okay, so last, you put calamansi at the end to give it a bit of sour flavor.
And you get all the seeds in there with it.
You use the fork. Look,
When you feel asleep in cough.
you just catch all the seeds with the fork.
So we're putting 2 full calamansies in there.
On.
Just squeeze the juice out of 2 full calamansi. And the trick is you slice them against the grain.
Yeah, because you want the juice to come out.
Makes them a lot easier for the juice to come out. I would normally slice them with the grain. But she asked me to slice them, and that's what I done, and I got in trouble, so now I know.
You got in trouble. And that's ready.
Okay, yeah.
Done. You want to have a
Look, here comes the pelicans.
You want to have a look?
So we've got it dished up, and it actually looks pretty good. She's probably outdone herself.
Look at this.
And
Sweet
it
flavour.
smells bloody nice and tastes bloody nice because I had a bit of a taste of it. And what you normally do is have a bit of rice with it, but these pair are not having rice.
Having rice.
Neither am I. So we'll have a taste test and see what you reckon of it.
I'm gonna taste the yabbie.
It's probably a little bit spicy, but it's not too bad. The only spice that was in there was out of that pepper and that packet, which probably wasn't too bad.
Nice, Ate? Ate liked it. How about you? It's hot? It's too hot. just chew little by little, like little bits. Look at the. Ati's eating the biggest one. I think that's the biggest one.
They're all pretty big.
I still like it, even though it's spicy.
You like it?
How about this one?
And I got a drink.
Nice. And I'll have a go. There's a nice little nipper there. I better give you a rundown of what the plan is today. And it's basically nothing too extravagant. Pot full of water, some Old Bay seasoning, and there's still about a good third of a container in there. What I'm going to do is put 90% of that in there. And I'm going to keep that little bit, and that little bit there we're going to keep it for after they're cooked. Sprinkle them on there. I've got the yabbies in the pot, so anything we get from now on, it's going to be their lucky day. Don't say that's a monster. That bloody is too. It might not be his lucky day because they only just went in there. He can join the party. I think he's going to have to join the party because they've literally only been in there 1 minute. I just put him in and come around to check the lines and say, I think that's the one I've been waiting for too. Sorry buddy, you're going to have to go and join your mates at the party. So unfortunately for him, I was wanting one more big fella. He's just gone and joined his mates in the hot tub. That's starting to look pretty good. I can see the rapid boil coming out of the edge. Oh yeah, I probably wouldn't have fitted another one in there anyway. Oh, that looks all right. I'm going to lift them off carefully. I've been sitting them there to drain so I don't get too much yabbie juice all over my tailgate. Once they were cooked, I noticed what they normally do is sprinkle a bit of extra of this stuff on top. I don't know whether that might be a bit too much. I'll set the lid on there. I'll put yours down because I'm not going to be able to do it one-handed. I'll give it a good shake around. Get a bit of that seasoning all over them. Yeah, they're definitely well seasoned now. Check that out. Nice little coating all over them. And these flies have turned up in a vengeance. I don't know where they're coming from, but Jesus Christ, they're thick. I think they can smell the yabbies cooking. Got our big mud lobsters all cooked up. Absolutely cooked to perfection too. And this is what I've been waiting for, just a good old-fashioned boil up. Nothing special, bit of Old Bay, and that's only because I had it there. I thought I might as well throw it in. It's actually literally been in my ute all winter. It's been in there since we went, it must have been one of the last trips we went on last summer. Oh, look at that tail. That's just chockers full of meat. And I'm not going to keep you there for the whole feed. I'm going to be pretty quick with this because that wind's really blowing up and I've got a feeling it's going to be coming through there and making a bit of a mockery of itself. I've got just a little tiny bit of the seasoning on the cap there. What I'm going to do is just dip a little tiny bit on there. One last thing before I go. Don't forget, if you watch this far and you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. Have a go at that for a big bit of nipper. Absolutely delicious. I've got my pot boiling away here. Probably just covered the screen in steam. And I've got all our tails. Got them de-headed, de-veined. And I literally only want to give them a couple of minutes in that boiling water just to blanch them. And by blanching them tails for literally a couple of minutes, as you can see, That meat just literally just pops out of the shell. So what we've got for lunch today, got some spring onion, some carrot, bit of cabbage, our yabbie tails. Start this cast iron back up, it was just smoking hot. I'm just keeping an eye on my line because it looks like there might be something having a go of it. Get all that on there, and hear it sizzling. Some of this stuff, garlic, chilli and Thai basil. Bit of sweet chilli sauce. Bit of pepper. A little bit of salt. And we're just going to top it off with a bit of sesame oil. And one thing I didn't bring was my bloody spatula. I only brought a fork. I wanted to keep tossing and turning this. And I've got my feed cooking, but my line's going off. We'll just give that, we'll just double check it. Double check this line. Oh yes, another big yabbie. We'll see if we can get him up. He doesn't want to come up. Yep, got him. He's a bit late to the party. He's lucky. Well, there we go. There's definitely yabbies in here. Might be worth bringing the traps back here one day too. Let him go. Not a monster. He's definitely not a monster, but we'll get it back out there and see if there's any big ones in here. Better keep an eye on my feed, I don't want it to get burnt. How good does that look? Absolutely beautiful. I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit spicy. Bit of the cabbage, carrot, yabbie tail. It's our big lobster that we got out of spot number 2. Have a go at the claws on him, would you? Absolute feast. What I've done, I've put a bit of water in this edge where them nippers are so they cook a little bit more evenly. They're looking bloody good though. I think I've actually done that big fella justice. Check this out. Oh, cooked to absolute perfection. Look at them big nippers. Almost bigger than the tail. And that yabbie's nice and seared and cooked. Have a go at that. That's the big fella's nippers. Oh, absolutely love nipper meat. That's the other one. Not very often you get big nippers like that. And I had extra pepper on there. Absolutely lovely. I've got his tail here all ready to go. And I reckon his nippers are actually bigger than the tail. Well, pretty even actually. I think that rod just got another hit. So we're going to start our cook up now, and it's inspired by Robbie's fishing, so I'm sure a lot of people on here will know Robbie. Go over and give him a mention, tell him that I'm copying his recipe. What we're going to be doing is cooking yabbie noodles. I seen one of Robbie's videos here probably a month or so ago, and he done some 2-minute noodle yabbie. So we're going to do some and try and improve on it, show him how it's done. So go over, give him a yell, tell him he's got to watch it. We'll come over here. Annika's into the Tim Tams. She's not sharing them either. Have a look at our yabbies. We ended up getting some bloody beauties. And we got enough for a feed there, luckily. Luckily we only got just enough for a feed. And it was Annika that got them for us, so we'll have to thank her. And she gets an extra one. So what I'm going to do first, I've got this neat little pot here now. Eileen got it for me the other day. I've got some water boiling in here. I'm going to bring that up to the boil. We're going to blanch our yabbies so they're easy to peel. And I'm going to chop up some of these veggies. We've got cabbage, spring onion, we've got some broccoli, snow peas, And we've got some peas in here that we've shelled that come out of the sugar snap peas. And we went shopping for these this morning. What we'll do, we'll shoot across while this water's boiling and show you where we went shopping for these. So it's actually early morning. We haven't actually been out yet. I'm just going to shoot back to this, show you where we do our shopping. We've got Eileen here checking the shelves. What have we got on today, Eileen?
Beans.
Beans.
What sort of beans?
Have a
is
go
this?
at these beans. There's literally millions of them on here. They're absolutely everywhere.
How much?
And what we want today is, Eileen, is some baby ones if you got some. Yeah, even smaller than that, I reckon.
Smaller than that.
If you can find some small ones. These are actually sugar snap. And that big vine over there is, what is that one?
Snow peas.
Snow peas. And the vines were twice the size of that. I got the little worm pit over here, and she's actually thinned them beans out because they were getting too thick.
How about this one?
Yeah, I guess we'll get some spring onions as well.
That's enough?
They're going all right. Go right down to the base with them.
That's enough?
Yeah, we'll get 2 stalks of spring onion.
Okay. One.
She's got some strawberries here. They're all just starting to come on. There's a whole heap up under there, so another month or so we'll have a heap of strawberries.
This one because it's
She's got,
nearly in the brown.
what do you got here? Just a baby spinach. She's been picking a lot off them. They just keep shooting back.
Okay.
Got a heap of beetroot coming up there.
That.
So what else do we want today? I reckon we'll come over here. I reckon we'll pick, this broccoli has been picked to the
That one?
crap house really. But what it does, it keeps shooting back. It's a variety that keeps shooting little sprigs off, and you just keep picking the little sprigs. That one there's gone to seed, it's too far gone. What we might do, Eileen, we'll just pick some of these nice little stalks here, and we'll just go around and pick a heap of them off. That one there's probably still alright actually.
Hi guys.
Here.
Ew, it smells like onion.
So we got all our broccoli. Josie's been putting them in our shopping bag. These nettles here, they're a weed, but they're actually edible too. They will sting you. They've got stingers on them, but when you cook them, the stingers fall off. And they're one of the most absolute nutritious plants on earth. But they sting you.
Did you just get stinged?
Normally.
What are you doing? You're into it before I can film you.
No, I took the ones that you already harvested. I get rid of all these.
Oh, do you? Oh, I picked one yesterday or the day before for Ludi, and I left the bottom on there. So we'll just pick a nice little cabbage, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon that one there.
Okay.
We've still got a few in the shopping cart here for later. And this is my worm bed. What I might actually do is have a look. Yeah, look, straight up. See? Good fishing bait.
Yeah, they're dead.
There's actually a heap in there. Look at them. Look how they've eaten that carrot.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah, there's heaps.
Watering them.
Look.
Have you?
And that's, I actually used the dirt out of this garden for the other gardens. I'll just cover that back up.
Look, there's one there.
Pull the top back over it, and they live in there nicely. Show them the cabbage. So you don't get much fresher than that. So you've seen how we got all our ingredients for this dish that we're making today. We'll head back out the lake and keep cooking. So I'll give you a look at this little pot that I got. It's not the easiest little bloody camp table to cook at because this chair's right up your butt. And you're sort of right up next to it. But anyway, how neat's this little pot? And I reckon they're blanched enough. I don't want to overdo it because I'm nearly out of gas. I've only got like a half a tin or a quarter of a tin in here and a quarter of a tin there, and I've still got a bit of boiling and cooking to do yet. So we'll switch them off, and I'll just give you a look at this. Take the lid off. How easy is this?
Yay.
The whole strainer thing just lifts out of it.
That's cool.
And they're cooked enough. They're only just starting to turn red. They should be easy enough to peel. So what I'll do is I'll get these peeled and we'll come back. And I'm going to be reasonably quick because we're running out of gas quick. So I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on there. I've got this pan fairly hot, like hopefully really hot. And what I've done, I've kept the big nippers. Can you see them there? I've kept the bigger nippers and I'll just leave them on this hot pan. Let them cook away, because we'll probably do them separate. So I've got this pan really hot. I've got our tail meat all prepped and ready to go. Oh yes, beautiful. That's what I'm after. And they won't need much. What I'll do, smash a bit of seasoning on them. Bit of garlic. Stir them around. We'll only give them a couple of minutes.
Windy.
Oh, that wind's starting to blow up again too, so hopefully it's not too bad in the camera. I'll put a little wind block up here because it's blowing our heat away and I can't afford to lose any heat. Anyway, they're cracking along. They generally only take a few minutes anyway. But what we're going to do, now them tails are all just about starting to shrivel up nice and round, we'll put these veggies on to start getting them cooked a bit. We'll go with the broccoli, snow peas and cabbage. And that cabbage we chopped up really finely because they'll still have a bit of cooking yet. And I think I'll leave the peas and we'll put them in with the noodles. So we're going to have the boss here is going to show us how she makes the noodles because she's the gun noodle maker. I'm not a big fan of noodles. I don't really eat noodles generally, but I don't mind them ones. What are they called?
Meagering.
Meagering.
Soy and mild spice.
Soy and mild spice. They're actually pretty bloody nice.
Okay.
So what she normally does,
just put the
you get a 2-pack seasoning with these noodles. The old noodles that I had when I was a kid were just beef noodles and you just got a packet of powder you just put in with them. But
that's what I do.
These ones you get a soy sauce and a seasoning oil type stuff.
There's chili if you want, spicy
and
one.
Spicy chili and another spice mix as well. So there's actually 4 different spices that go into it. And the way she does it is she squeezes all the stuff into the bowl first.
Yes, that's how you meant to do it.
Which, yeah, when I was a kid I just whacked some boiling water in a bloody saucepan and threw everything in together and that was the noodles.
Alright.
Our noodles, how's our water go? Our water's fairly well boiling. Do you want to put them noodles in now? Just because I'm worried that we're going to run out of gas. And what she does, she breaks the noodles up a bit before she puts them in. And I'm thinking that'll help them cook a bit quicker too.
Yeah.
So we'll get them in.
You want the peas in or no?
Yeah, well, and I've saved them peas that we shelled. They're sugar snap peas that Eileen and Annika has been shelling them once they get a bit big, and they're bloody nice. But we'll put them in there with the noodles so they cook a bit.
There you go.
Just like that. We'll whack the lid back on so they get boiling. Over here, hiding under here, is I've got our vegetables that are pretty well cooked. They're not really overdone. Our yabbies and our nippers. So back to the job at hand. I've missed out on half of it. We put the spice mix in there, did we?
Yeah.
So there's the spice mix. That's the powdered one.
Yeah, but it's for the kids, so I didn't put chili. This one is a bit, there's chili flakes on it.
That one there, we've got chili in. This one here is without chili.
Yep. So that's it.
So that's it. That's all she wrote. And we do have a rod in here, and the girls actually have got a yabbie.
We've got 2.
Oh, you got 2, have you?
Yeah, the first one I caught.
We got a couple of good yabbies in there. But lucky for them 2 yabbies, I'm out of gas, so they'll probably end up getting let go when we leave. So what I've done, our noodles are ready. She's just going to mix them in the bowl with the seasoning. And what I've done, I've actually put these back on since we've still got a bit of gas left, just to char them tails up a bit more, because we like them really charred up. and the wind was absolutely bloody good, wasn't blowing at all, and as soon as I put that back on there it started blowing its bloody butt off again. So we're just going about 50-50 with the noodles. We're going to share a plate each. So Eileen's got our spicy one there, and then once you put the noodles in, and these mee goreng noodles, you actually have them a little bit drier. You don't have the soup in them like you do with the beef and chicken noodles.
You know what they call them in the Philippines?
What?
Pancit Canton.
Pancit Canton. Mee goreng Pancit Canton.
I don't like them dry.
That's why I have super
Rightio,
spicy.
so now they're all mixed up. We'll put some veggies in there. Do you want to put the veggies on the side a bit?
Yeah.
I don't want any veggies.
Yeah, you got to.
And I can eat the veggies.
You want me to put in this now? Lettuce.
No, after.
Side out there on the side.
Now for the yabbies, that's what the girls get. They can have 3. There you go.
Okay.
And what I did actually have at home was a boiled egg.
Oh yeah,
each.
you forgot
And I was
about
going
it.
to quarter up a boiled egg and put in there. And the eggs actually come from my auntie's chicken, so it would have been a completely, nearly homegrown and caught meal, apart from the noodles. Now that'll do. There's 2 little yabbies left on there.
Okay.
Be careful because
Good
they'll be hot. Look at them little yabbies.
Poor things. They'll put this now so I can have
Yeah.
spring onion.
I don't.
So Eileen's just finishing it off now.
Okay, do you want
Bit of
one?
spring onion on there. I like a bit of spring onion on top because it just gives it a bit of freshness. And we'll leave these nippers on here and we'll snack on the nippers after we finish. I might even leave that going a bit and put a bit of water on there to steam it up. So he's going to have a crack at it. There you go, Josie. Be careful, it'll be hot. So Josie's got a big tail and a heap of noodles around the outside.
One veggie.
And one
Some
veggie.
Try some, so I can separate
What
some
do you
for
reckon?
Rosie.
You reckon it's as good as Robbie's noodles?
Haven't tried over
You didn't see Robbie's video.
Do you want to try?
Annika's gonna have a go.
Yummy?
She'll like it.
Yummy?
That's
Is it good?
she'll like it because that's her 2 favourite foods: yabbie and noodle mixed together.
She used to
She'll
get
want-
hype on noodles.
She'll want it all the time now.
Yeah, you can have some.
There we
too.
go.
No, for you.
I was gonna show them before we mixed it all up.
Oh, I'm not gonna mix it.
So there's our feed. Have a go at it.
Okay. Yeah,
There you go, Robbie. That's how you cook
I'll-
noodles.
I'll give you a plate full.
Robbie.
Yeah,
Are you friends with Robbie now?
Yeah.
this is how you eat it.
So she's got a mouthful here for me. Look. Look at what she's got.
Come on,
Ready?
ready? Chunk everything in it.
Mmm. Mmm.
Yeah, put yours in here so that you have.
Mmm.
Remember, you wanted soup. You wanted soupy.
That is delicious. Mm-mm.
Put some on there.
Mm.
Soupy. I put you soupy on.
That
the
is
top.
bloody nice. Thanks, Robbie, for that idea. We might even do that again.
Ew.
We missed your mouthful. You'll have to have another one.
Another one. I think just use them. That spring onion is nice on the.
We got spoons there for the Filipinos. Are they?
We're using
fishing
the
all the
fork.
yabbies out there, are they?
Do you want me to a big mouthful?
Yeah.
Ready?
Take a bite of broccoli too, so you get it all.
Yum.
What do you reckon? You don't like it? I'll have it.
Ah!
It must be alright. Either it's alright or they're hungry, one of the two. What are the peas like?
What's yum?
This actually smells like it's burning here. I've got this frying away. I was going to put water on it and forgot about it. I'll have to get a bit of water and throw on there. And we might crack this big nipper open and give you a look inside it before we go. What we might do is sit down and eat this first. We'll get another mouthful. Do you want to get me another mouthful? I've got my hands full here.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to do 10 things at once.
Right. You just want to be fed.
Yeah. Hey, I'd spend all that time catching them yabbies.
You're too spoiled.
Cooking them noodles.
It's you know, the spice is actually nice. The bite,
Yeah.
ready?
Look at the bite she's got there for me. Hey, is
Come
that
on.
much better than that or
Everything's
what?
in there. Ready?
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mmm. Lovely.
I'll be jealous. Okay.
I can just hear everyone now
I'll have
calling me
this
a pig.
Yum.
Oh, that was bloody delicious. I can't believe how nice that was. Look, all gone.
Who ate all the food?
Where's mine?
Now we can see if we can crack one of these claws open and have a look inside. Just wanted to show you, but I didn't bring any pliers or anything to crack them with. Oh, and they're pretty bloody hard. And still a bit hot. Oh, look at that.
We can have it.
Do you still
Perfect.
I'll have the other big claw. I'll have that one.
What I like to do, I probably should have done it first. Ah, there we go.
Juicy.
Look at that, perfect. Do you want this one, Josh? You want to try it?
I'll have the other claw and break it.
I love them claws.
Next to
Oh, I forgot to pull this.
two of your mouth closed.
Wow.
All I can hear is my
Here,
in
Josh.
my ears just
Yeah. So we got our yabbies. I haven't actually even counted them yet. I think there's about 20 there. What I'm going to do, I've had them in rainwater, probably for a couple of hours. Rinsed it out, put fresh rainwater in there a couple of times. I'm going to give them a rinse off with a bit of tap water before they all escape. And I'm going to boil them, peel them, and we'll come back. And we've got the boss out there doing a bit of gardening. What do you got growing out there?
You know what they are.
Hey?
You know what they are, just tell them.
I know what they are, just tell them. She's got some cauliflower growing there that she's watering. Some...
No, this one's cabbage.
Oh, cabbage is it?
Yeah.
Oh, she's got some cabbage there, some broccoli. I'm not too sure, strawberries I think, and some beans up the back. I've got my yabbies partially boiled, or blanched, whatever you want to call it, peeled, deveined, all cleaned up. First thing we're going to do, what are we going to do? Just add a bit of Knorr seasoning. Just a little bit. Mix it around. What I've got in this second bowl is just a bit of egg wash. So basically it's just a bit of egg, a bit of milk, nothing much to it. I'll give them a bit of a stir around in that Knorr seasoning, get them all coated. And she only just put a very little bit in there. And then we'll put all them into the egg wash. Give them a bit of a coat in the egg wash. And what I've got in this, I probably should have kept the packet out. I think I threw it in the bin. What I've got in this bowl is just some garlic crispy fry. I should have kept the packet out. You don't actually need to be putting it in egg wash with this crispy fry. It's made so you don't really sort of have to do the egg wash, but I just think the egg wash is going to coat it a lot better, make it stick a lot better. And what I'm going to do is put all them in the crispy fry and just give all them a good stir around in the crispy fry, and then obviously we'll just go and throw them in the hot oil and fry them up, which I won't show you that. We'll come back once they're all fried up. So we've got all our yabbies fried up. And what a magnificent job I've done. Lucky she put me under the job of frying them up because it's absolutely perfect. So what are we doing?
Huh? I'll just mix up the sauce.
Mixing up some sauce.
Yeah. Okay, so
What do
this
we
is
got?
pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice.
Yeah. So what did you reckon? 2 tablespoons or something?
So we've got about 2 tablespoons of pineapple juice.
I'm asking.
And what we're making today is some sweet and sour sauce. Noel over there, he wanted some sweet and sour cod, but all we've got today is yabbies. We went out We're really hoping to get some decent sized spangled perch, but it didn't happen. We ended up with a heap of lobsters, and that's probably about 2/3 of them. There's another third that didn't actually make it to this plate. Not saying where they went.
You're basically just mixing stuff. So this
What do you got here?
That's ketchup.
That's banana ketchup. It's actually, here's a look.
Oh, don't show that.
Yeah, people wouldn't actually know. It's a tomato sauce, or what they call ketchup, which I call tomato sauce, but it's not. It's made out of bananas, and it doesn't actually taste anything like banana.
Sweet chili?
Sweet chili, about the same. What about a teaspoon?
I don't have particular like
Yeah, we don't
brand
really.
or anything. You just use what's in there.
Basically, just made to taste.
Okay, you need to put soy sauce, just a little bit.
Of course, there's got to be a little bit of soy sauce. Can't cook anything without a bit of soy sauce.
Of course. Just a tiny bit. Yeah. There you go. And then you put a dash of vinegar. I think it's almost finished. With
Dash of vinegar, how much is that?
Just a dash, just a tiny bit. This much. Right.
So probably 1/4 of a teaspoon of
You reckon?
vinegar. And we've got about the same with sugar. So they're all fairly well equal parts, except for the vinegar and maybe a little less soy sauce.
And then a pinch of salt, just a tiny bit of salt. Yeah, others start with the onion, but I always start with the garlic. Cook it until it's brown. Start cooking it.
I missed a little bit there. I actually turned the camera off to restart it because my fire was getting a bit big, and she dumped the onion in there. So we missed that little bit. So that garlic's gone fairly well, like a golden colour now.
Yeah, that's how I like it.
And she's put the onion in. So we've got the ginger going in there now. The onion's probably, you know, been in there for 2 or 3 minutes.
Can you smell ginger?
Yeah, and it smells bloody nice.
Chuck your peppers.
Bell peppers. I should take this over and give you a look at Nippy. Nippy's over there behind us. He's actually got another nipper growing. He only had the one big nipper, now he's got 2. He's got a really big nipper, and he's got a little one about that big now.
You put this sauce in. Can you hold it for me?
I tell you what, it bloody smells nice.
And turn down the fire a little bit, huh? Just let it simmer.
Now we'll turn down the heat a bit. It wasn't on a great heat to start with. Probably medium, now it's on a low.
So you need to simmer it and then like cook the peppers and a little bit.
So we'll let that simmer for a few minutes.
You know,
So you can see his little nipper starting to grow there. He's actually got a prawn or a shrimp in there. I put a couple of them shrimp that we got today in there, and he's got them cleaned up already. There's a better angle of it. Little tiny nipper starting to grow. And that bloody spangled perch is still in there. That spangled perch is trying to get that bit of shrimp off him. But he's doing well in there. They're going to get a bit of glare off the camera there, but I'll just give you a look. He sits there all day and he grabs all the gravel from this side and he piles it up over this side. And you can spread it back out and even it back out, and he'll do it again. He'll spread it, get all the gravel from this side and push it over this side. I don't know what he's thinking.
isn't there?
No, just a few. I'll tell you what, if you can smell that, that's been simmering for probably about 5 minutes on a really low heat.
Yeah,
And we've had it covered. And we're just going to put, that'll do. I don't want too much.
that's enough.
Just a little bit of pineapple in there. And she doesn't like pineapple, so she's only adding it in there for me, but I only just want just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, you can put your yabbies in.
And we've got our crispy yabbies here. Like I said, that's not all we got today. There's probably 2/3 of them, I guess.
Lower the heat point.
Lower the heat again.
Yeah. You basically just want to mix the sauce and the yabbie, that's all.
And we'll give that a good mix up. So here we have the finished product. Almost looks like something out of a cookbook or a straight out of a restaurant by the look of it. Looks absolutely perfect. So we've got one on rice and we've got one just by itself. Have a look at that. I don't know whether the lighting is going to be very favourable for it, but looks absolutely delicious and smells bloody nice. If you could smell it. So we better sit down and have a proper taste test. And it's not too overpowering either. Some sweet and sour dishes that you get, especially Chinese restaurants and that, they just drown it in the sweet and sour sauce and you can taste it sort of comes out of a packet. Like the Chicken Tonight one and that. It's all got the same taste, but this is.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, when she was explaining how to do it, I was sort of a little bit iffy. I was sort of like, oh, that doesn't sound that nice, but tell you what, it's probably one of the better Filipino type dishes that I've had. I said you get that adobo and that, just nearly overpowering, but that is absolutely bloody delicious.
There's a bite, hey? There's a little bit of bite from the ginger and chili, sweet chili.
That is absolutely bloody lovely.
You're a good cook.
Yeah, I'll teach her how to cook one day. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you want to see some more, we'll catch you on the next one. I've made it back home and I just thought it was well worth checking out these yabbies. Absolute beauties. End up keeping 14. Where's our big fella? That's the one with the big nipper. He's going straight in the pot. Not very often you get a good haul of good fellas like that. I'll get these into a bucket and put them in the freezer and we'll go and cook some up. And they look pretty well done to me. They've been boiling away there for a good 7 or 8 minutes. We've got these tails all peeled and ready to go. What I'm going to do is just powder them with a bit of plain flour. That's plain flour. Just a quick rundown. I said just to Google it, but it's just basically a full can of beer, self-raising flour, a little bit of bicarb soda. I would like to put a bit of probably curry seasoning in there, but I don't have any at the moment. And I do like my batter pretty thin, so just a thin smattering. And that's perfect temperature. You want it fairly hot. I'll get these done pretty quick. And because I've only got a pretty small saucepan of oil, I'm just going to keep flipping them around. And they literally only take a couple of minutes. So I guess we better have a hunt around and see if we can find something to have with our yabbies. A couple of them will do. It's not the prettiest looking garden. Don't crucify me on it. What else do we want? Don't want them today. Might even take that little cucumber. That little cucumber there will do. I really got to get out and pick these cucumbers, I think. And I think I actually might have just outdone myself and cooked the best feed that I've ever cooked again. Have a go at it. Absolutely delicious. It looks absolutely delicious anyway. I've obviously got more yabbies there. I've just put 2 on here because my plate's not big enough. And these tails, beer battered tails, they come up absolutely. Can you hear that? That batter's just beautiful, light and fluffy. Perfectly cooked inside. I'm using my hands here. I'll sit you back there a bit where you can see. I've got some tomatoes. cucumber, straight from the garden. Only just picked them an hour ago, or not even an hour ago, half hour ago. I've got some nippers here. I did have a couple peeled, but I couldn't help myself and I ate them. I'm getting into these nippers, but oh, these beer battered tails. And they're big. They look like fair chunks there, and very little of that is actual batter. The batter's really crispy, it's mostly meat, look. Look, mostly meat. The batter's really thin. A bit of rice there underneath to fill me up. Anyway, I'd call that a successful mission. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Today we're going to try something a bit different. I've seen the size of these tails. I thought myself, bloody hell, that looks like a lobster tail. What we're going to do is we're going to try and make some lobster. We have 1 cup of water boiling, and to that we're going to add 3 tablespoons of salt. We're going to mix that until it's all dissolved. We got our yabbie tails partially cooked, and Dad peeled them, cleaned them really well. And I got to get Dad to put these in. We're going to bring them back up to the boil. Now that's at a rapid boil. We're going to turn it off and let it cool down. We got the jar full of yabbie tails. Now we're going to put that in the fridge for 3 days. And Dad, I don't want you touching them.
Shh, we've got to be very, very quiet. I don't want Josie to hear us. We're going to sit here and eat all the yabbies. It's going to be interesting to see what these are like. They've been in the fridge for about 2 days. Definitely firmed up. I'll tell you what. And that was a big tail. I'll tell you what. If I didn't tell you that was yabbie, I bet you'd nearly think that was a lobster. They've definitely firmed up. And yes, I know it's a hard life. Have to wash it down. Oh, Josie, what's the matter? You're missing out on all the lobster. Absolutely delicious. And I was actually a little bit skeptical how these would turn out. I thought they may have been a little bit too salty, but they're not. I thought she may have put a little bit too much salt, but I probably wouldn't put any less. Well, I'm gonna wallow around in the pool, eat me lobster tails, drink me beer, catch you on the next one. The yabbies have been on the boil probably a little bit longer than what they should have. They're sort of partially cooked now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to sit them in some cool water. I reckon I'll just go and sit them in the water over here. Take the heat out of them so I can peel them. I'll show you what I'm going to do just with one of them, so I'm not boring you the whole video sitting here peeling bloody yabbies. We basically remove the tail, twist, remove the tail. We may keep some of them claws. There's some there that are borderline big enough. And all we're doing is cracking the shell, peeling it off, pulling the meat out. You'll find that
poo sack there, just pull it back. Just like that. I've got some clean water here. Give it a bit of a rinse off and that's it. Just do that with all your yabbies. And as soon as I pulled that cooker out earlier, that wind really started to blow up as usual. You can nearly bet on it. We've got our yabbies peeled. We've got a hot cast iron skillet. And what I've put in there is just a little bit of butter and a little bit of garlic for now. We're gonna have some more later. Put our yabbie tails on. You can hear that sizzle, that's what you want. You want it really hot. Bit of all purpose. And what I'm doing, I'm just cooking them this way. This is probably, you've seen it probably 10 times. This is the way that I like them. Because we've got Steve here, the caretaker, and he's gonna be our guinea pig. He said he hasn't eaten yabbies for years. How long? Years? Probably 10 years. And he would definitely have never tasted it this way. How do you normally eat them? Just boiled?
Boiled, yeah.
Just straight up boiled?
Yep.
So we're gonna give him a go the way I do it and see what he reckons. He'd probably say they taste like crap. Anyway, I reckon you'll probably like them. If you don't, you can say it. So I put a little bit of this garlic butter in before we started. I want to just add a little bit more now, and then the rest when they're just about done, so it doesn't all burn away.
I can smell it.
Yeah, you can see it steaming up here, look. And that'd be getting all the flavour into it. Roasting that seasoning, getting a bit of char on there. Our yabbies are done. You can tell they're done the way they curl up in a little ball like that. They probably, you know what I'm like, I overcook the crap out of everything. Probably could have let them go for a few more minutes, but they're well and truly done. Our garlic butter that we had left over, I've taken it off the heat. That cast iron holds a lot of heat in, and I've just put it down in the corner here, let it melt away and sizzle away and cook that garlic a little bit, and we can use that for a sauce.
I got one. Restaurant.
Restaurant, great.
Come and get one, you got to be the taste tester. Don't go gorging it straight into you.
No.
Got to get you on film.
Cheers.
So we've got Steve here. He's the caretaker here, so later on when they open it up to the public, you'll probably be here. You're going to hang around for a while.
Yep.
Here. So Steve will probably be the man you got to see for whatever you need. We'll give him a crack. It's probably going to be hot, Steve, so just don't burn yourself.
Smells very good.
It's hot.
It wouldn't be cold. Garlicky. Not too bad. Just need about another 100 of them. Give a bit of a look. I've been sorting a few out here. I've got some in the pot, and I reckon these smaller ones, how well you're going to make them out. There's some big fellas in there, but there's also some smaller ones, which is probably going to be ideal for what I want to try today. And we've got a heap of little bait fellas in here. There's about 10 or so, but that's not even half of them. There's a heap in here. One's just gone. Look at them all. They're all just pouring out of there. And I just want to make sure that there's probably another couple in here that I'll put in the pot. Oh, he's nearly got me. Like that fella there. He's definitely way too big for bait. You can go in the pot. That one there is borderline. These little clean fellas are absolutely ideal for what I want to try today. I'm going to give you a look at something in a minute. Maybe that one is borderline, but put him in the pot. And there'd still be another, what, 10, 12 dozen. Another 10 or 12 in there. So I'd have to have probably 30 baits
probably 20 or 30 eating yabbies. And what I'm going to try today is a bit of this Old Bay. I have tried it once before and I didn't go much on it. But I didn't boil them then. I fried them on the frying pan with a hot skillet, a cast iron skillet, and I just sprinkled this on top. I think I'm going to give it a proper go, and I reckon them little clean yabbies are going to be a good test for them, because they'll be nice and clean, won't have much flavour, so this will add the flavour. And I'm going to go pretty heavy-handed with it. So I'm not too sure. I'm guessing there's probably about 2.5 litres of water, and that Old Bay is pretty well 90% full. So I reckon we'll put 3/4. I'll just save a little bit of that. About 3/4 of a full jar of Old Bay in with them yabbies. Oh, just fogged this up. Those yabbies have been on rapid boil for probably a good 5 or 10 minutes. I've well and truly overdone them. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to kill the heat and let them soak in there for a bit, try and soak that flavour up and give it a really good go, give it a good taste. Soak that flavour up and give it a really good... So we've got one of the little tiny fellas here. I'm going to go first. Yeah, to be honest with you, I really couldn't even taste any of that seasoning, and I thought I'd overdone it. May have just got a little hint. We've got these pair having a taste test. They've got a little tail each, and I've dipped it in the seasoning just to get a bit of extra flavour and seasoning on it. See if they can taste it. Rightio, you pair, go for it and tell us what you reckon. Can you taste that seasoning at all? You can.
Sort of.
They've probably got a bit better of a taste buds than me. Mine are probably all burnt out from all the chilli I eat. You reckon it's all right?
Yeah.
Honestly, or is it a bit yucky?
Oh, it's
Yum.
It's not even hot. What are you going on about? It wasn't hot for me. It was hot for me.
What do you reckon, Kira?
It's good.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
We got these pair. I think it was only fitting that since they caught the big ones, that they get to eat the big ones. So Tilly's got Ned and Josie's got the one with the big nipper, or the two big nippers, the one with the broken nipper. Have a crack at them. They're a bit more of a taste test, them ones, and the last ones they had were only babies. They're the two biggest yabbies we got.
Yummy. Yummy? Yummy.
Nice. Now look what they give me to eat. Look what I'm left with. Have a go at it. I've seen bloody bigger bait prawns. They're laughing at me, yabby tail. Have a look at it. Hey? Little morsel of goodness. I actually prefer them little ones, to be honest with you.
Can I have a taste?
If I didn't have to sit there and peel them all.
I'll peel some.
Oh my god.
Them little ones are the go. So Josie and Tilly are going to peel some. Have a look how Josie does it. Show us how you do it, Josie. She's too scared to get her fingernails dirty. Well, that was a little bit painful. I'm going to have to edit that out. Literally took them 9 minutes to peel a yabbie each. There we go. And they've already eaten it. Took them 2 seconds to eat it.
Oh, I'll have this one.
Oh, Josie gets the big one of the big ones. Oh, Tilly got one of the big ones.
Oh!
What?
All red stuff.
People do eat that.
You can have.
So we're going to go Bushman style. Well, these pair are. They've just peeled it and they haven't washed any of the butter off, and they've left the poo sack and everything in there, which a lot of people do, and they reckon it's nice. So have a go.
Will anything happen to us? Will it make us sick?
No. Oh, there goes Till, there goes Joyce. How does it taste?
You probably.
It just tastes normal.
There you
No.
go. Look at that.
Well, we're just about finished our video. These pair are actually peeling their own. That's they've peeled a few of their own now. I've got myself a nice another little morsel. We'll call that a video. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
And have a go at my setup here. There's actually an old abandoned sports ground out here. Some people may know where it is. We've got a table and chairs. We've got actually 2 tables, chairs everywhere. There's an old abandoned grandstand here. Probably be alright having a bit of a metal detector around there. Probably be some old coins. But we're out of the sun, out of the wind. Few yabbie tails on the cast iron, bit of Scotch fillet, few shrimp. I've got a beautiful tomato there straight from the garden. Yes, like I said, it's a hard life, but someone's got to do it. We've got beautiful fresh tomatoes, and have a go at these tomatoes. I forget what they're called. I'll have to look it up again. They're a funny name. But they're actually bred not for their looks or how well they keep in the fridge. They're bred for their taste. And have a go at the marbling in that tomato, and they are the best tomatoes that you'll ever eat. I'll grill them at home. I'll give you a look one day. Bit of avocado, be nice and healthy. Little bit of overcooked steak, yes, that's how I like it. Topped off with yabbies and shrimp. Hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And I've even got a table and chairs, which doesn't happen very often. So let's have a look. I'm not too sure whether I've got you in frame there, but I think we'll get a bit of everything straight up, just because I can. Nice big yabbie tail. We'll top it off with the shrimp. I'm not going to have a bit of tomato on it just yet. I knew that was going to be good before I even ate it. And it's not a mega haul, but it's plenty there for me to have lunch. A few nice ones in amongst them. So here we go. The lighting's not going to be great in here. Got a few bowls here lined up, ready to go. Got a big mess going in the kitchen. Got bloody pots on the stove and pans. What we're going to do to start off, we're going to throw all our yabbie tails into plain flour. I'll swap them around so you don't get confused. That one is plain flour. Easy. We just toss them around in the plain flour. Easy peasy. Keep moving along. What we have here is self-raising flour and beer. I just had to have a taste of it. Doesn't matter what sort of beer. I just got that one to try it out. It's not a bad beer actually. And what we do, once all our tails have got a nice dusting in plain flour, we just drop them all into our beer batter. Again, that's just self-raising flour, beer. I haven't put any seasoning in that because you'll see what I'm going to do later. We're just going to give all them a nice little swim around in there. Once they've had a swim around, we don't want too much batter. We want a little bit for this recipe. I'm going to transfer all them to the hot oil. I'll just give those a bit of a stir around. And those tails were 3 parts cooked already, so you're really only cooking the batter. Heating those, by the time that batter's all cooked, them yabbies will be well and truly cooked through easily. And over here, I've got a little bowl with some honey in it, and I just want to put not too much, just a nice little squeeze of lime in there, just to take that really sweetness out of the honey. And they are bloody strong. That's calamansi lime. They're a lot stronger than a normal lime. And a little bit of this liquid seasoning, Knorr seasoning I think it's called, and you only just want literally a couple of drops. Mix that up a little bit. And I'm just going to put that honey in the microwave for 30 seconds or so to get hot and runny. And these tails be starting to get cooked now, so we'll just keep an eye on them. They're probably cooked enough, I reckon. And as you can see, I've had that honey in the microwave for about 30 or 40 seconds and it's really gone like liquid. I'll just have a little taste. Yeah, that's perfect. Absolutely perfect. What I've got here is a really hot pan. I'm just going to throw half a handful of sesame seeds on there. And again, I don't want to roast the hell out of these sesame seeds, just 30 seconds or so. You can see they're all starting to turn brown already. What that does is releases the oil in the seeds and brings out all the aroma. And while our yabbie tails and honey's all nice and hot, we'll just dribble that all over them tails. And you don't need a lot. The tails will soak that in. Give them a toss around in there, get them all nice and coated. And what I've done, I've added all those sesame seeds in there. And just keep giving them a good toss around. Have a look at that for a plate. You wouldn't have thought they were being crawling around in the mud a couple of hours earlier. Absolutely lovely. We better have a taste of one. So we better give them a try. I got one with a couple of bits of spring onion on there, plenty of sesame seed, a good little bit of that honey mixture. That's absolutely beautiful. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. We'll catch you on the next one. We're going to tip the yabbies out and see what exactly we got. So here's the esky, and I'll just take that bit of grass out of there to start with. I'll tip them out quickly and then we'll put them back in the esky and I'll put some rainwater in there. Oh. Now we end up with a heap. Look at that big monster.
There's a couple.
Absolute beauty. 1, 2, 3. So we end up keeping 21. And bloody nice size yabbies too. Have a go at that fella. Absolute lobster. He's going to cook up well. I'll get some fresh rainwater into them. We'll let them soak for an hour or so in some rainwater. And we'll get these fish out and have a bit of a look. So we'll check these fish out, and what I'll do is I'll just tip them out and then I'll whack them in the freezer for half an hour or so just to cool them down, then I'll fillet them.
I'm tipping them out.
Tip it out, Joe, have a look. That's a nice size spangled perch right there. Absolutely lovely. Well, we end up keeping 5. They're good size spangled. I reckon they're almost like a whiting, freshwater whiting to eat. They got a really beautiful white delicate meat and there's no freshwater taste at all with them. What we've done is I've blanched the tails, peeled them, filleted the fish. First thing we're going to do, I've got this pan nice and hot. I'm going to throw half of these on because I'm going to do half for Josie. So I won't even count them. That'll do for Joe. What she wants. She just wants a bit of garlic with hers, so we're just bit of garlic and just a little sprinkle of all-purpose seasoning, and that's what is in there. And I'll throw half of these fillets on for Josie. Well, that'll do her. She can just have 4 because that's the big one. I actually got a fairly big fillet off him. And that's all I'm doing for Josie, is just a bit of garlic and a bit of seasoning. And what we're going to do for mine, I'll just tip the rest of those in there. And there's already a fair bit of seasoning in that pan. So what I'll do is I'll just spread them out. I've got some smoked paprika. I'll put a bit of that on there. I've got some crushed chilli. Spoonful of crushed chilli. And a dash more garlic. And I'll give that a mix around. Get all that chilli all mixed into it, the paprika. Making a big old mess as I'm going. And I've got a heap of that flavouring on the bottom of the pan. we'll throw all our fillets in there. Just like that. And what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to add a bit more of this smoked paprika on top of the fish. And as you can see, it's got a fair bit of char on it, sort of half caramelised, and they've curled right up. That's when you know they're just about done. And I know I'm going to cop it in the comments, yes, I do like things a little bit overcooked, or maybe well overcooked. You reckon they look alright, Joyce?
Yeah.
Better give you a look. This is Josie's garlic, yabbies and spangled perch. And this is my chili, yabbies and spangled perch. So we better have a taste test. Oh, it looks bloody nice. Have a go at that. Chili, yabby tails and spangled perch. And I've actually added a bit of pepper on that as well.
I don't like chili.
Josie's just got plain garlic and seasoning. So we'll have a taste test. Have a go at it. Look how red it is.
I'm tasting the fish.
It looks spicy.
I'm tasting the fish.
No, that's not even really too spicy. I was expecting it to blow my head off, but that crust chili, they mustn't be very hot chilies.
Big ones.
That's actually quite nice. That chili, I'll do that again. Well, that for a big fella.
Do you want my fish?
Mmm.
Look at mine. I got a big.
We've got some onion here cooking down. I want to cook it down first before I do anything. So what I've got in here is a mixture of butter, garlic and crushed chili. And what I'm going to do, I've just let this onion cool down a little bit, and I'm going to mix it in there as well. And I don't know whether you'd believe it or not, but I didn't bring a bloody fork or a spoon or anything, so we'll just mix that up. That's actually working well. So what I've done, I've got a really generous amount of that mixture with the onion, chili, garlic, butter, and piled it up onto each yabbie. And I'm going to let that sit there, and I'm going to let that melt down for a good 5 minutes, I reckon. Holy dooly, we got something. You little beauty. I was just bringing that in because I got a massive bite, and oh, you beauty. You know what's going to happen to him. If I can get him. You little ripper. Oh, halfway through cleaning that perch, that rod just peeled over again. Oh, there, I've got him. And he's a better fish, this one. Oh, he's taking line on me. Oh yes, he's a good fish. Sorry about the camera, I wasn't expecting it. Oh, dirty big carb. Check him out. I do have my net ready. Oh yeah, good fish. Oh, just spat the hook on me. Oh dear, I had my hands all covered in blood and guts from that spangled perch. I was halfway through cleaning it. I seen me rod bending over and I wasn't too worried about getting him up. That was a bit of excitement. Halfway through cleaning that spangled perch, I heard that bell and looked over and that rod's bent in half again. So our little spangled perch, he's a little bit late to the party, but he's a welcome visitor. We're not going to refuse him entry. Oh, and I've really lathered that little spangly up in that secret sauce. And that is cooked absolutely perfectly. I've got some raspberries and blackberries there on the side for a bit of freshness. I reckon you don't get much better than that. We'll have a go at the yabbie first. And this is one of the bigger ones. Oh. Don't get much better than that. Little blueberry. Adds a nice bit of freshness. A nice big chunk of our spangled perch. That just melts in your mouth. That spangled perch is cooked absolutely perfectly. and there's literally hundreds of them down there, right at the edge of the bank. I could sit there catching them all day if I wanted to. That fella there was actually an accident. I was trying to reel it in quick to get past him, and he jumped on the hook. So let's have a look what we got. Done all right, actually. Got some bloody monsters in there. Check this out. I'll tip them out in this bit of a puddle here, and we'll have a look. Look at that. And they're all going in the pot today because I'm bloody hungry. I'll pick up a few of the bigger ones and give you a look. Look at this fella. He's a bloody donger, and one big fella getting away here. He's a nice one, that one. So we got approximately 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we end up with about 16 big fellas, which is not a bad little bloody snack, I reckon. I'll just give you a look at what we're doing with the cook up today. Nothing special at all. She's just a straight up boil, and they're nearly done. That's been boiling away there for a good 5 minutes, I suppose. A little bit slow with the fish. I would have liked to got a yellow belly, but not even a bite yet. I still do have the rod in behind me. I've got a bell on it so I can hear if anything's going off. We'll get these yabbies off and have a taste and see how they go. They look bloody good. There's a couple of lobsters in amongst this lot. Look at this. Have a go at this fella. Cooked up absolutely bloody beautifully. Not a bad little feed there. I got this big fella here peeled. I'm going to crack into his tails in a minute, and I've got the perfect spot here. Got a bit of cement and heaps of little rocks to bust their nippers open and chew at them. But have a go at the tail meat on him. Have a go at that for a mouthful. It's bloody almost like a lobster. A couple of bites in this one. I have thrown a heap back actually. I only kept a bucket full. Now that's not a little bucket either. It's sort of bigger than your average bucket. And it is pretty well full. You probably fit a few more in there, but they're packed in. I've got this big water drum. I'm going to fill it up with water and dead grass and sticks and stuff. I'll keep them in that water drum until I get home. I'll keep the little ones for bait, and we're going to go and cook the big ones up. I've got my yabby tails on there. What I done was I just blanched them at home and peeled them, and I just brought the tail itself out just to make it easy. So I'm not mucking around out here peeling yabbies and making a mess. And I didn't want to leave a heap of yabby shells and that in the bins out here for the workers. It'd be absolutely disgusting in a couple of days. So done all that at home, done all the hard work. Josie was about to have a taste test, and I realised I didn't show you what I actually done with them. So what I've done, I thought we'd have a few snacks while we're up here. So I've just got some cheddar crackers, and I've put a bit of sour cream on the cheddar cracker. We've got the seasoned yabby tail, and I've topped mine off with some sliced jalapenos. Some red and green, and I've left a few just plain.
I'll give
We'll have these ones and make some more up.
Here you go. Can I give that?
So we'll give our little hors d'oeuvre a go. Good little snack up in the mountains, I reckon. Those little crackers are really light.
I want this. Can I or not?
Jalapeno gives it a little bit of bite.
Can I have it?
Yeah, Josie's going to have a taste test. She's got a double header. She's got 2 yabby tails on hers and nothing else. You meant to take it in one bite, Jose.
No, it's too big for my mouth.
And we've got Eileen and Annika up here picking the yabby tails off the plate. Have a taste and tell us what you reckon they like. You got to watch Annika with these yabby tails because they send a hypo. She'll be running up and down these mountains like a bloody billy goat. We got some of our yabbies. I've got these fish cleaned up. All I've done is scaled them, gutted them, took the heads off, and put some score marks in them. And I've got the pan heating up here. It should be getting pretty hot now. I'm going to save all the nippers. That's the nippers off these fellas, because we've still got some candidates in the bucket, but I'm not going to fit them all on. So I'm going to cook the fish and these few yabbies here for a bit of an appetizer. and then we'll go on to the big fellas. So what we're going to do today, I reckon I'll put these fish on first. Just a bit of garlic on them. Sprinkle a bit of garlic. Get it all in there. That wind's bloody horrible. And what I've bought is some chili paste. What I'll do is I'll get a nice big bit of that out and I'll smother that all over it. And throw a bit of that all on them yabbies too. So what I'll do is I'll just rub this chili paste in, make sure it gets in all them slots. Once I'm satisfied she's all nice and smothered up, we'll sit them in that hot oil. Look at that, absolutely lovely. We'll get all them done. Oh, that smells nice. What we'll do, we'll wander over here and check this rod while that's simmering away there. Nah. Oh, there's a little fish having a go at that. I just seen it. There's also a lot of water beetles. I don't know if you can see them in the water there. If you have a look closely down in here, you can see them. I'll try and scare one right there, see? And as I bring this bait up, you can see the water beetles. Look at them hanging off there. That's what I'm talking about. How many's on there? 5 or 6. I'll try and hold it still. Look at them all. They're just absolutely hammering it. But I did see a little fish have a go at that, so there's obviously spangled perch in here as well. We'll get it back out there. We'll just hope that a yabbie bites on it. And that's almost what I predicted was going to happen at this dam. That's why I didn't bother coming here. I don't know what it is, them water beetles, but they're voracious little buggers. But we'll leave it out there. I did see a spangled perch have a go at that on the way up. We better check our food. I got carried away over there. It's going to be definitely cooked anyway. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. We'll give them about 1 more minute, I reckon, just make them well and truly overdone. I just wanted to give them fish a couple of extra minutes. And I could probably tell by the way the smoke's flying off there that they're almost done. They're starting to fall apart, so it's a pretty good sign. Oh, this looks bloody good. Check this out. Oh, that looks absolutely bloody perfect to me. We'll get a nice big chunk of this meat off here. Look at it, it's just peeling away. We'll have a go at our fish first. Perfectly cooked. Absolutely perfect. You can get that chili all through there. We'll get one of these yabbies out and have a go at it. And that yabbie tail just peeled out of there just like it really wanted to come out. And we'll have a crack at it. Oh, there's a good mouthful there. I reckon them yabbies are probably better than the fish today. So we ended up with 25. All I done with those was boiled them in really salty water. If you want to have a look how I done it, I didn't want to bore everyone with how I boiled and peeled the tails. Go back and check out the other video out the lake. It's called Catch, Clean and Cook on Yabbie tail on cast iron, I think. I think that's the one where I rip the tail off before I cook, devein it, and then boil them in really salty water. They come out beautiful and clean. Look at that, lovely. So first things first, we're just going to want a few jars. Any jars will do. And we're just going to want a few ingredients. We'll just put a couple of yabbie tails in each jar to start with. And all I've got today is some olives. Just got some olives here. I'm going to put a few of those in. We've got some little tiny tomatoes. We'll put a few of those in. We have over here on this plate, I've got some purple onion, some chives, some garlic, and just discard that. That's a little rotten tomato I took out. So we'll just keep just putting a little bit in each jar. A little bit of that. This garlic, I've just got it cubed up into little cubes.
It smells weird.
I'll just drop a couple of garlics in each one.
It's too flavorful.
And then basically all we're going to do is keep repeating that process until we either run out of ingredients or our jars are full. We've got Josie here cooking. I've got her putting the yabby tails in. She's been hounding me like a pelican, hovering over these yabby tails, going to eat them all on me. So I've got her putting them in the jars. She's putting... Josie's idea is 1 for the jar, 2 for herself.
Do I put that in?
So we've got our jars full of our ingredients. And basically you can put anything you like in there. There's no rules, there's no right or wrong answer. And we're going to make 3 different batches here. We're going to use French dressing, and this first one we're going to fill it half up with French dressing, so fill it to about half, and it doesn't have to be measured, just fill it to about halfway. There's no right or wrong.
Right there.
This one here we're going to go thirds. We're going to go a third French onion, so put a third in there. And this one here, we're just going to put a little dash of French onion, just like probably 2 tablespoons, so just put a little dash in there. So this first one that we've got half in, we're going to go half apple cider vinegar for the other half. No, I'll tip this in. And we're going to tip it all the way to the top.
That's gonna taste good.
So that one's finished. And what I would have liked to have put, which I completely forgot about until just now, is probably some black peppercorns.
No.
This second one, we've got the third of French onion. We're going to go about a third of apple cider vinegar. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just a third of just plain water, just cold water. It's actually rainwater. And this one here that's just got a dash of French onion, we're going to go straight vinegar.
Ew.
And that one there's just straight vinegar and probably 2 tablespoons or a bit better of French onion dressing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a permanent marker. And I'm going to mark which one's which of the different recipes so I know for next time. Have a go at that. Looks bloody awesome. Now what you want to do, you want to leave that for at least 2 weeks in the fridge. Pretty important you put it in the fridge so you don't give yourself food poisoning. And I'm not an expert at this, so don't hammer me in the comments that I've done the wrong thing, because every batch is going to be different. Nothing's going to be the same. If I made these again tomorrow, it'll be different. So that's the good thing about it. It's always different. So 2 weeks in the fridge, have a crack at a cold beer. I've got you set down low just so I can give you a look at what I'm doing here. I'll just give you a rundown with one yabbie. I've had them in the freezer for a good hour or so. They're all not moving, well and truly dead. So what we'll do, we just separate the tail from the body by grabbing the tail like so and just twisting, which I won't do on camera. Just do it off camera. But as you can see, the tails come away really clean and you're left with all the guts and stuff in there. Some people like that. I don't, not with the Australian yabbies. So we'll go through and separate all these tails, and any big nippers, do the same thing. Just grab them like that, one on the body, one on the nipper, twist and pull off, and there you have it. The good part of the yabbie. Then the next step is, get this middle fin. There's 3 fins on the tail. Grab this middle one, twist, and pull, and the poo bag will come out. That one's completely clean. Sometimes they'll be black and full of gunk. And I've got a bag here with all my yabbies in it, and as I do them, I just put them in another bag with the heads. I've already done about 30 or so, and there you just have a nice clean tail and clean nippers. So what I'm going to do once I get all them cleaned up, I've just got a pot here starting to boil with water. All I'm going to do is throw them in the boiling water for about a minute or two. What that does, it'll just blanch them and it'll make the tail come away from the meat a lot easier. So I'll get all these done, blanched, peeled, and then we'll come back. Rightio, all done. I'll give everyone a quick look what we're up to now. This is the quick part. We've got our cast iron skillet nice and hot with a bit of butter on there. We've got some yabbie tails. That's definitely not all of them. That's not even a quarter of them. I'm going to save some for later. Throw our yabbie tails on there. And they're only partially cooked at the moment. A little bit of seasoning will come out. I'm just about out of seasoning, so throw a bit of that on there. A bit of garlic powder. Bit of garlic powder on there with them. You can tell these yabbie tails are done when they really curl up in a little ball. Have a look at that. See how they've really curled up and they've got a fair bit of sear on them now from the barbecue and cast iron. Oh, just lost one. We'll give that one to Josie. Here, Josie, want to try a yabbie tail?
They smell good.
No, I'm only joking. No. I'll give you a look at the little platter that I've done up. How's that look for a feast of yabbies? Looks absolutely bloody brilliant. They taste absolutely bloody beautiful too. Nothing better than that.
Want to taste one?
So we've made it back. We're in the kitchen. We've got the master yabbie chef here. Today she's going to whip up something real special.
Put them aside.
What are we doing?
What did you call it? I forgot.
Crusty yabbie tails. We're going to do a panko and coconut encrusted yabbie tails.
Yep.
So what I've done, first things first, before we get started, I've got the yabbie tails. I blanched them fairly well, fairly lightly actually. I didn't really overcook them because I didn't want them to curl up. And what I've done is I left the little tail bit on there like a cutlet, almost like a prawn cutlet, what you get with a prawn cutlet. So you got a little handle for your hors d'oeuvre. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So first things first, where are we going to start?
Okay, so salt and pepper.
So I'm going to put salt and pepper on all the yabbie tails, and I think we just let that sit, don't we?
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
So we'll give them a good seasoning with a bit of salt and a bit of pepper, and I guess just how you like it. If you like it extra peppery, extra salty, put a bit of extra whatever you want on it. But salt and pepper, let it sit for 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We'll catch you in 5 minutes.
Okay, next up.
And the next step is, make sure you got a beer with you.
Have you got a beer?
You need a beer. We're putting up these pair.
Okay.
What have we got next?
We've got dry ingredients here. I've got desiccated coconut and I've got the panko breadcrumbs.
So we've got desiccated coconut, panko breadcrumbs, and we just want 50-50 of each.
Next up
So the next step is
the batter.
So we're going to make a batter.
Batter.
How are we going to do that?
Okay. So it's same ratio. I've got I don't know how much is that, but the same. It's that all-purpose flour, and I've got the milk.
So 50-50 all-purpose flour and milk, basically.
So.
And you can make any quantity you want. So 50% of each.
Okay.
and start off with that and just check the consistency. So go for it.
So I'll just mix it in.
So once you've got your batter, nice runny consistency, you don't want it too thick. You really only want this so your breadcrumbs will stick. And basically, if you're going to be mixing up 1 cup of each, you want a teaspoon of baking powder.
Yep.
Now we've got about 1/4 of a cup of each, so we're going to have about 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay, mix it.
So that keeps it easy.
Okay.
So about a pinch of salt
Very good.
in your batter.
Okay. You know. So that's done, and then you need to put your egg, like 1 whole egg for each cup of ingredient, like a cup of flour, a cup of
Good. So basically, you want to put, if you're going to be making 1 cup's worth, you want to put a full egg.
a whole egg.
And so we're only doing 1/4. You want about 1/4 of an egg. So, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So just, yeah, that's heaps. We probably got about 1/2 an egg
That's
in
a
there.
lot.
And the egg, doesn't matter if you've got a bit too much egg because that's what's going to make it stick.
In 5 minutes?
Yep. It's probably been a bit more. I think it's been 8 minutes.
Okay. So, is it? So, have you got your oil heating?
Yeah, I got the oil heating.
Okay. So, salt and pepper, yabbie. You just tap it.
So,
That's all-purpose flour.
so just a bit of plain flour. I'm just going to dip it in a bit of plain flour.
Yeah, plain flour. That's what you call it.
Then dip it in the batter. And you don't want too much batter. So yeah, let that drain off.
And then, when you're ready, put it in your jar.
You ready?
Am I ready?
I reckon you're getting close.
Okay, so
And then
coat
just
that with this.
give him a good coating in the breadcrumbs. Press it down, squish it in there. So it all sticks to it nicely. Ooh,
See
look at him.
that?
He's looking crusty already.
Ooh, that's your crusty yabbie.
Crusty yabbie tails.
Okay, so same procedure with everything.
So that's 1 done.
Okay, do you want to have a go?
No, you go for it.
Okay.
I'll have a go.
We won't sit here and do the whole lot with you. We'll get them done. Come back.
Okay.
So here we have it, our crusty yabbie tails. And I tell you what, they bloody look good. I've done a bloody good job at these, haven't I? You pair. We've got sweet chilli, hunsin and tartare sauce for our little dipping sauces. One thing I should mention is don't have your oil too hot with these crumbs, because if you have your oil too hot,
I was hiding that at the back.
that's what happens. That's the first 2 I put in, and I may have had the oil just a little bit too hot, and it's I don't mind it a little well done, so that's okay.
So you're getting the well done then. I'll put that aside. There you go, that's yours. The rest is ours. Come on.
And I'm going to go with the crispy ones, and they actually come up nice. See if we can get a close-up shot of one.
No, not the black one. Show these ones. Show these ones. I'm gonna go hunsin.
I went tartare sauce.
Okay. Oopsie, it's drooling.
You're dribbling everywhere.
It's hot.
Look at that. Just pulls down the tail, you got yourself a little handle. And those tails are crispy enough you could probably eat them.
I'm gonna go.
I'm not going up.
So chilly.
Oh,
It's nice, it's chilly.
and the plan was that me and Eileen were going to have them for lunch with a nice bit of rice, probably some tomato and cucumber, have a beautiful lunch. We end up, and we weren't going to share them with the old seagull over here,
Yeah.
but we got sidetracked, got stuck on a job,
Yeah.
end up having to have bloody crusty old KFC for lunch because we weren't planning on staying out that long. But anyway, it's nearly tea time, and these are good little appetizer for tea, so
Okay.
worked out well in the end anyway. And I can definitely recommend this dish. I've had the beer battered tails, and these are better.
You eating the shells.
Josie, you're not meant to eat the whole. Josie ate the whole bloody
She's
tail
eating
and
the
everything.
shells. I like the sweet and sour dip. What one did you
And
like?
just to let you know, don't eat the shells like Josie just done. I mean, you probably could if you're really hungry enough, but I'll tell you what, we're messy bloody eaters. We've got crumbs and sauce all over the place here.
You're the only one that's messy.
Oh no, Josie's got a half chewed up tail.
Takes after you.
I haven't had a go at the pun sin yet. If you haven't tried the pun sin, what is it? Pun sin dipping sauce, go and get some. Oh yeah.
Look, what are you doing? You just got the two black ones. You only got the two black ones.
Oh, these bloody scarecrows. Hey?
You burned them.
Seagulls. Rightio, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget, hit the subscribe button for us. Give us a thumbs up. Catch you on the next one.
Bye.
So we better have a look at how we went. We've got the cameraman there. She hasn't actually seen what we've got yet, so there's not many in here. But there's a few nice ones. Check that out. Oh, I thought one had me toe then. What I'm going to do, got some nice fresh clean water. Flush that out a bit. Put some nice clean fresh rainwater in the esky and some in the bucket, because I think I better keep these bigger ones a little bit separated from those small ones. And we ended up with 4 really big bloody proper yabbies. Check that out. Nice. We'll put them in there just to rinse off. I'll probably give them an hour or a bit more in the clean water, and then we'll get them in the pot. We're in the outdoor kitchen today, so the sound should be a little bit better. We've got a bit of a quick recipe going today. We ended up with quite a bit of meat out of those yabbies. Check that out. Pretty well a good sized bowl full. I'll just pick a couple of these bigger ones out. Look at the size of the tails on that, would you? Those big ones right at the end that we got in those traps come out like bloody lobsters, mate. So what we're going to do, what she wants me to do to start with, is try not to let any bugs get in the pan. Bloody little white fly flew in there, and they've been a little pain in my butt lately. My little tomato's going off. I might even give you a look at that, why that pan's heating up a bit. I know you're all interested, but have a look in here. Got bloody tomatoes going everywhere in there. I think got like 6 or 7 on there. That nice one. And I forgot to mention, which I probably should mention, I've been and got my hat because that sun's come out. It's been behind the clouds for the last half an hour. As soon as I step out here, it's going to come out and see me, but that's some of the nipper meat. Nice big chunks. We'll throw that in there too. There's a couple that didn't make it into the bowl. I don't know where they went to. They disappeared in transit. Fell off the back of a truck. See a bit of smoke coming off that skillet now, so you know what that means? Time to sear up. And the master yabby chef didn't really specify, so I'm just going to put a little bit of seasoning on. Just to give it a bit of taste. You can definitely see the difference. The ones we got on the lines compared to the ones we got in the trap. Them tails there are bloody massive. Taste test. So we've got the Master Yabbie Chef here, and we're going to be cooking something a little bit fancy today. It's called King Yabbie Fry Rye. Special fry rye. What do we want first, Master Chef?
Garlic, please.
Garlic, please. What we want? What sort of heat do you want?
Medium.
Medium heat.
Actually, normally it's high, but
Pretty high. Medium high. We'll go with that. And like I said, the lighting's not going to be the best here. It's probably absolutely terrible, but I ain't standing out there in the sun. So you're going to have to put up with it. You just don't pay me that much, sorry.
brown the garlic.
Brown the garlic. And all I'm going to be is the fly shore, which I think it's getting that hot and that dry that there's not many flies around now, so.
You got the base part of the spring onion.
So she's got the base of the spring onion. This is the top.
Yeah.
What she's talking about is the bottom part of the stalk.
Yeah.
It's generally, see how that one's hollow? They're not hollow, they're thick
That's for later.
or solid.
Okay.
And she's just frying that up. Looks fairly hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
What do we want next, Master Chef?
I'll just put the vegetables.
I'm going to go with some peas.
Carrot.
With a carrot that's really finely diced. And I think what she done, she partly cooked that carrot and peas. So she just boiled them carrots beforehand just for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Just to soften it up a little bit.
Can you pass me the rice, please?
And you don't really have to do that. But we don't like them too crunchy.
I just like it that way.
Next thing you've got is some rice. And the best rice to use,
Old one.
yeah, is rice that's been in the fridge overnight.
Yeah.
At least, and that has been. That's been in the fridge since yesterday. We weren't really planning on doing a fried rice today, but just so happens we had some rice in the fridge.
Yeah.
We've got some King Yabbies, and they are King Yabbies, them fellas. We've got a nice little mix of King Yabbie and normal Yabbie.
Okay, next, can you pass me the soy sauce, please?
Next up, a bit of good old soy sauce. Can't have a bit of Asian food without soy sauce. I think they put soy sauce in their coffee.
No. Not much. Depends on your taste.
Depends on the taste. That was a little bit. I actually don't mind a bit of soy sauce. You don't want too much.
Okay, can you pass me the garlic powder, please?
Garlic powder.
Just sprinkle. Ah,
She's missed the bloody pan altogether.
Mr.
Anyway.
Pan.
Got a little bit on there. I think
Oh, sorry.
we got garlic yabby
Can you
tails
please
now.
grab me the I was meant to grab the pepper inside. I
Oh,
forgot.
pepper.
Yeah. Thank
I'll go and get
you.
it.
He likes it peppery.
We'll only add a little sprinkling of pepper because
The kids will eat.
yeah, the kids are in there and they haven't really eaten much yet, so they'll probably eat most of this. A little bit of peppery.
Where's my egg?
Egg. She's got 2 eggs here, and they're just medium, average to large eggs, fresh from the chook's bum.
Can you hold it for a sec for me? Just a little bit of oil for the egg. Just tiny bit.
Tiny bit of oil.
Put your rice aside while you're preparing the egg.
So when you're putting the eggs in, scrape all the rice up into the side so the eggs going straight onto the bare hot plate.
Ooh.
And it's nice and hot.
Mix it.
And what she's doing there, I'll just see if I might grab the camera and just show you this bit. Because it's one of the main things that you should do. She's cracked them eggs in there and she's mixing it all around, keeping it moving. And what that'll do is it'll fry it and then break it up into little bits.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd just show you that one properly.
Look at her go, Eileen Ramsey. Eh? Oh, Gordon would be proud of you.
You need to be quick. When it's nearly cooked, that's when you put your
What are we going for? Sesame oil.
sesame oil, not too much.
Just a little bit of sesame oil. And what happens as soon as they start throwing out a bit of flavour, a bit of the smell, guess who turns up? Hey, the seagulls have turned up. Have a go at the tails, Harry. Some big ones. Not eating them yet. You gotta wait.
Muddy finger.
Can you smell it? Hey, put more pepper so the kids don't.
We might load it up with pepper so the kids don't like it.
Okay, and then your yabbie. Come on, let's go.
Oh, and the yabbie, the main ingredient. Look at it. And it's going to be a fairly healthy,
Ooh.
going to be a fairly healthy serving of yabbies in it today.
Looks yum.
Oh, look at that. Get a decent shot of our King Yabbie special fry rye. Actually, come up, bloody looking good. If I was such a good bloody cook, I don't know. Should open a restaurant, I reckon. And we've given the two seagulls something a little bit interesting to try and eat with. We've given them a pair of chopsticks each. That'll slow them down.
With those hands.
And we're not even going to bother. I just told her it was hot not to touch it. You had to test it, didn't you? We're not even going to bother with a plate for them. We're just going to throw the whole skillet at them. And we've given them a pair of chopstick each to slow them down a bit. It lasted about 2 seconds with Josie. She was stabbing them like this.
Ouch, mate. Josie stabbed me.
I couldn't help myself, I had to have one of them big ones. Anyway, we had a bit of a mixed day. We had to really work for them actually. We done a fair bit of looking around. Like I said, we went to 3 different spots. It was blowing. I had a feeling I was nearly going to stop at that tree at that very first spot with some lines, which is probably what we should have done. Because I reckon we would have got more there with lines than just those 5 with traps. But we've got Harry onto a few yabbies. I'm not too sure how the video is going to work out because it was really windy, so there's a lot of it that I'm not going to be able to show. So the actual catch part might be a bit broken up here and there. I've just been to the bloody toilet, come back to have a bit of fried rice. Where's it all gone, you pair? Hey? Our first step for this process, and you're going to have to forgive me because the light's not going to be great out here today. We've got an overcast day, there's absolutely no sun, so it's not going to be ideal, but I'm sure you can bear with me. Our first step, we've got all our yabbie tails all nice and processed. They've just been blanched and peeled, and I've got all the claw meat as well because the claw meat's actually good in this recipe that we're going to do. And what she wants me to do first is just sear the meat, give it a nice little bit of sear and char. So we'll get that going first, and then the master chef's going to take over.
Garlic.
What do we got first? Bit of garlic.
I always put garlic first. I don't know why, but yeah.
Bit of garlic straight up, sounds good already. You can probably turn that heat down. I have got it up fairly high.
Not medium?
That's about medium.
Onion?
Got some onion going in. Oh, it smells good already.
That smells nice. Celery?
What have we got here? A bit of celery that's been really finely chopped.
Yeah, I'll put celery first, put the carrots later. No, I'll just put the carrots. That's all my vegetables anyway.
And the carrots going in.
Okay.
And she's just got the carrots chopped up into little long pieces. She's got them julienned.
Put your water.
How much water you got?
I've got 4 cups.
4 cups.
Yeah.
Must think that we're thirsty.
800 ml, if you want to be exact. Can you please put it?
Well, that's not 4 cups. A cup's 250 mils. 3.5.
3.5? Okay, anyway.
800 mils of water.
Instead of 4 cups, I did 800 ml of water. Okay.
All we've basically done, probably been 5 minutes or so. This cooker's a little bit slow, but we've basically just brought it up to the boil to this point. What do we got next?
Our secret.
So we've got our
Recipe.
secret ingredient here, which isn't going to be a secret for much longer because I'm going to tell you all what it is. It is a crab and corn soup mix from the Knorr company, which I'm pretty sure you won't just get in any... Where do you get that from? Not just Woolworths, is it?
Asian shop.
From the Asian shop. So it's Knorr is the brand. Crab and corn soup mix. Bloody nice. What you're going to do is just stir that in, obviously, till it's all dissolved. And what are we going to call this dish? I think we're going to, she did tell me, yabby soup with very smelly noodles. What is it again?
Vermicelli.
Vermicelli noodles. And what's it actually called?
Okay.
What's it actually called?
No, I'll just call it that. Sotanghon is different recipe altogether.
She did say something about satanghong, but
Sotanghon.
satanghong. It's sort of like that, but a bit different.
Salt and pepper.
I'm going to turn that down a little bit. I've got it up pretty high. We'll just turn it down to a simmer at this point. Obviously that soup mix is all dissolved, and just let it simmer through for a bit. And a bit of pepper to taste.
How much pepper you want?
I like a good bit of pepper, so don't be shy with it. Have a little bit of a taste test along the way to see if you need anything added to it. What do you reckon? You're going to burn your bloody taste buds out there? Give me a go. What do you reckon? Alright? That's actually tasting pretty good already. What have we got going in now? Bit of squid sauce.
No.
That's what it says.
It's the fish sauce.
Oh, squid brand fish sauce. And you don't want too much of that stuff.
Yeah.
Just a little slurp. And once you've got it just about done, we obviously haven't added our yabbies yet. They're fully cooked. So we're going to add them at the end. She's got her very smelly noodles going in.
Vermicelli.
Vermicelli. And we're not going to go a lot because it's only me and Eileen eating. I reckon one little biscuit will do. And they don't take long at all. They'd probably be, what?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. So we're having 3-minute noodles, not 2-minute noodles.
Have we got your timer?
And they basically don't have any taste. They're just going to soak up that broth, take on the flavour of the soup.
3 minutes?
I reckon it'll be pretty close to 3 minutes.
Okay.
We're going to add our star ingredient.
Yabbie.
All the yabbies. All that nipper meat going in.
Ooh.
Oh, that makes it look good now. And we're basically right at the end of the process. What she's got in here is just one egg that's been beaten. Was a pretty large egg. We've got chooks down the back there, and at the moment they're bloody laying eggs like bloody, I don't know, emus or something. They're bloody massive. So one egg right at the end. Just stir that in, and that'll thicken it up a bit. Give it a bit of body. So there we have it. Yabby tail with, what do we call it? Yabby tail soup with very smelly noodles.
Vermicelli.
And one final ingredient, she's going to go and pick some fresh straight from the garden just to freshen it up a little bit. Little bit of finely chopped spring onion on top just to give it a bit of freshness and a little bit of bite. Now we better have a taste test. We will probably take it inside and eat most of it because guess what's turned up? Bloody flies. What we're going to put on top of it's a little bit of, what is it? Fried garlic. It's just dried fried garlic. I don't mind a little bit of that stuff. Just mix them through on the top, and I like to add a bit of pepper. Bit of pepper to everything. Nice little bit of pepper there. We'll have a bit of a taste test and we'll see how she's done. What I'm going to do is have a hunt through here. See if I can get a little bit of claw meat. Oh.
With the yabbie.
I'll tell you what, I think she's nearly outdone herself once again. I already knew it was good anyway. What I think's the best for this soup, which what we've done the other day, was them really big monster yabbies, and the claw meat out of them. Like the claw meat out of them ones the other week were bigger than that tail, and there was a fair few of them.
Should grab the fork.
That's bloody delicious. Although it's not the most appetizing looking dish, geez, bloody tastes nice. Oh, look at that, there we go, straight up.
I got one too.
Nice big bit of claw. And there wasn't, the claw meat in those yabbies that we got today weren't massive, but as you can see, it's plenty for a mouthful.
That's nice.
Whoa. And she's been in, got us a fork, so we can actually have a proper go at the noodles for you before we go. I'll give an honest review of them. Like I said, that they don't really have a lot of taste, these very smelly noodles. If you can even get them on your fork.
3-minute noodle.
I was going to say they looked a little bit slimy and soft, but they're not. They still got a bit of crispness to them, a bit of crunch.
Did you say Christmas?
Crispness. A little bit of crispness.
I heard Christmas.
Anyway, we'll leave the video there. I think we might shoot inside, eat these out away from the flies. I don't like filming inside because the sound comes through all echoey and the lighting is bloody terrible, worse than out here. So if you like the video, hit the thumbs up for us, hit the subscribe button. Catch you on the next one.
Bye.